go. All right, this is a segment we like to call Cardboard PC Kingdom. Now, I do have another channel, which I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my builds on here because some of the builds I do want to show off. And I'm going to do video shorts on at the other channel. So right now, I got to install these fans because these things are freaking super, super bright. Like, I literally want them to hug the case, but problem with that is they don't exactly meet with the case because we have some ice work we did on here, which I should have did the ice work around here last. I don't know why I did the ice job this close to this to begin with, which is really not a good idea. Sometimes I get overzealous with my my work, but I guess cut some of this away because I need to get these fans installed. I need to get some of this stuff done. I've already got a bulk of the big screen finished, which I'm happy about that, to have that thing finally done so I can look at it and go, oh, I achieved that, that's finished. So that's happy to know that. And then right now testing the cloud system at the bottom half down there, one of the clouds, which I actually built for the overhead, but the magnetic strips that connect to around this lights up there are not strong enough, so I want to have to go in and get some heavier magnetic strips for that. So definitely that's a go. I think heavy magnetic strips and heavy duty Velcro, double-sided Velcro, because for some reason I could not get that Velcro to stick up there for jack. Not Velcro, the magnets. Couldn't get them up there to stick for jack. I don't know what was going on. It just did not want to play with me. So I put these little cardboard tabs in here because for some reason it's having the fans are having a really, ouch, mother freaking George. That burn of the glue. Jeez, I hate that so much. But it's just for some reason it's just fighting me on connecting on top of that glue. I don't know what it is about that silicone, but it will not connect to that silicone for jack. So we have to build a nice little bridge in there without burning my fingers to get that to connect in there. Just that plastic on silicone ain't happening. Jeez. You burn yourself much? I think I have. Good light on it. Burn yourself on. Hopefully this stays, because for some reason I don't know why, but this just would not stick for jack. Excuse me. Allergies. I get allergies all year round. So I got to finish. I had to put the PCs on hold. Got the customers over there ready to go out today. They got this thing done, the bigger screen, that's finished. Still got the rest of the work on it, but the build on it's done, so I'm happy about that. I have that completed. And screens are pulling up, no problem. Testing the lightning system at the bottom. I do want to put a lightning cloud background around, which has now got me thinking about the freaking neon lights I put behind the back of there, which I'm pretty much probably going to have to reroute those too on top of that, because they're definitely going to disrupt. I'm not going to be able to see them. There's no point in paying like $60 for freaking LED lights and you can't even see them. So we got to reroute the lights behind the back of the screen. The ropes. Good thing when I built the bottom base, it's not exactly connected, kissing the wall, so I can just slide it right through, which is great. So I got to disconnect that and rerun that. So probably, because I don't want it anywhere near the screen. I don't want any blue lights near my screen because it disrupts the screen. I'm probably going to have to drop them in between the base and between the base and the floor screen. That's what I'm probably going to have to do. Bring them from here around there, reloop them, and bring them back around the door. That's what I'm going to have to do, which ain't a bad idea to start doing it now while I'm doing this. But then again, let me watch myself, because I got a habit of once my brain punches something in, I automatically just put in the command and start doing it. It's like putting in multiple prompt commands into your PC. You know what I mean? Just doing multiple tasks at the same time. But unfortunately, I don't finish the other task. I just jump on that one too and go, let's get this one done. Oh, mother chores. Why is it when you drop something, it always lands on the side that you basically just did? Like drop sandwich or bread. It always lands on the butter side. Always on the butter side. Every single time. But these fans got to be put in because the light on these fans is so bright, and then they're hitting that white screen behind over there for the testing, for our gain testing. Man. Now, for those of you saying, well, what do these have to do with home theater? Actually, sorry to make that voice, but that's how it feels for me. This is involved our gaming. We're building a gaming set, a gaming website. All this gaming technology we're engineering, working on. We got tabletop gaming. We got gaming mats you could drop to the floor and game off. I got a lot of stuff invested in gaming. As a matter of fact, I got two sponsors, two big time sponsors, two heavy gamers that actually game. I'm not mentioning who they are, but I got two heavy sponsored gamers that are going to sponsor our stuff. They're going to test out our gaming stuff, which is fantastic. And if they get sponsors, we get those sponsors too, which is going to be pretty cool. You know, something they vouch for. So that's why we're building a whole website. Like I said, presentation is everything. I took the time to build all this because presentation is everything. Every time you see me when I was in Haventown, any place I've been at, you've seen me build entire environments to show off one screen paint or two screen paints. That presentation is everything. So I took the time to build this whole thing, put this whole thing together, LED lights, build all this stuff, because it's all about presentation. You slap stuff together, you throw things together, you don't take the time, people will see that. Just like your website. Your website should look like you put time into it, like you really put time into it. I can go on somebody's site and go, wait, they really invested some time in this. They really put some work into this. It says a lot about the product. So you got to put time into that website. Everything you do, you should put time into it. The labels, you see how much time we put in designing labels? Oh, some people watch me build labels, and I'll go through hours and hours and hours just going, no, 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 no. Even the backgrounds to my background of work on the back of my PCs, but my website. I go through hours just going through freaking videos or whatever to put back there because I want everything to be just right. Presentation is everything. You don't put the time in, people are going to see it. And if you don't put the time in something like that, then that means it's the same crappy craftsmanship that you put in basically your presentation. Well, it's going to be the same crap that you're going to put into your product. The product's going to have the same reaction. You know, you make something, you want it to look good. So these machines right here are part of our gaming website we're building, involving cardboard builds and involving the gaming screen paints we develop and make. I think with some people, and they don't get it, they say, well, it has old parts and stuff. Well, it had old parts. It couldn't even run half of the software I have to run on this machine at the end of the day. As a matter of fact, software run on this machine, and this is a console gamer making that comment. You can't run it on your system. I can pull hardware out of my desk. Excuse me. I can't run it off a PS system. It won't work. I need a computer to run it off of it. So again, wouldn't work. Edge blending software, no, can't run it off that system. Right? How would it even be possible? See what I mean? There you go. Reality check. So these machines are designed to do what they're designed to do. And they can game too, with no problem. I can game on this, can game on the console, doesn't make a difference. Now the difference between my console system, or if I had a PlayStation 5, I can't do anything on it but game and watch movies off of it. It doesn't actually work for me. These machines work. They make money. So, yeah. Can't do anything with that. I can run websites on here. I can do whatever I want on this machine and have a ball. And it's designed to do exactly what it's designed to do. It's what it's equipped to do. And I can game off of it. And we've been down this road before. I looked at the specifications on your games, your heavy hit titles that are sitting on a PC right now, and the requirements that the parts that are needed to run it are cheap old parts that will run the games with no problem. It's not requesting no 5090s. It's not requesting no 4090s. It's not requesting anything high-end graphic cards. None of that whatsoever. Not requiring any of that. It's not requiring 128 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs. It ain't requiring any of that at all, period. Y'all just overpaid for a console system with hyped up parts that you didn't even need. Because on PC, we don't even require that. And you would think we would because we're running off PC, but we don't. Our specifications to run God of War is much lower than what you're running right now. And it still runs. You run it basically at maximum settings. That means they overhyped your equipment. That's what it means. They convinced you that you needed all this power to run a game that on PC, it's like a 20 series graphic card. You know how cheap a 20 series graphic card is? That's under a 3050. So that's all the requirement is. There's nothing really hype. And then you get the misinformed individuals who see the elitist PC. They don't know there's a category in PC. They think they're all the same category. No, there's multiple categories in PC. There's elitists, which have the advanced, high-tech, future machines, have expensive, high-end parts in them. They call those elitists. That's what they are. Standard build, you know, budget build. It's a whole bunch of them. Excuse me. But you assume to calculate, to put them all into one category, onto elitist category. See? See, this is how you learn things at the end of the day, but this is how you find out you don't know stuff. And that's why they come in. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I went through this mess with the PS4. Yeah, system I have right there. I literally went through this mess. I built that Steam PC. This is when the i7 first came out, when they first came out. They were like $800. And I built one with an i7 processor. But anyway, so I was in discussions like crazy. Because remember, I was console. I switched over. I was on Xbox 360. And I switched over to PC because Xbox started this thing about this DRM and all this nonsense. You know, pay for games and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do all that, I'm going to do it on PC. What's the point? You know what I mean? So that's where they started that whole cloud system. Boy, y'all got to know your history at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure some people do know the history of the DRM and the console system with the 500 gig hard drive and how all that nightmare started. But if you don't know, I will enlighten you. So basically, your system had a 500 gig hard drive. Yeah, that one right over there had a 500 gig hard drive. And the Xbox had a 500 gig hard drive too. Now, why would you stick a 500 gig hard drive on a system that's going to take 40 gigs easily off your system, right? Not consider also to your operating system each from that too. Well, they were banking on doing DRM and digital downloads, and basically you can save all your games in the cloud. Only problem with that is you would have to be online all the time, especially if you want to access the cloud to get those saved games and all that other cool stuff you have up there floating around in your cloud hard drive. So they thought that the gamers were going to take this nicely, but it didn't go well. Actually, it went the opposite way around. It went south quick. Because then you got people in other countries that may not have, even here in the United States, that may not have good internet. And good internet you're going to have if you're going to be running games and taking stuff off the cloud and all that. Yeah, you're going to need all that. So, yeah, they didn't kind of bank on that. And then it became to that process where at that particular time, now you're used to it. Now you're used to digital. You're used to digital now. It's a thing now. It's digital. But you weren't used to digital download because in digital downloading, you can't share a game. You know, you can't just say, hey, Chuck, here, take this, and then you can have that game, and then Chuck can give it to somebody else. You can't do that because it's your digital copy, your license right there. Not you actually own the license, but so to speak, it's yours. You can't share it. Now, on Steam, if you want to share a game, I got to buy the game again. So I'll buy the game, and it says gift. I'll send it to a gift. I'll send it to a friend, put their name there. The game will end up in their box. That's how it works on that end. I don't know how it works on your end, but that's how it works on our end over here. So that's how we share games. I would literally have to buy that game twice. If they want to share with somebody, that person's got to buy it. But it wasn't like that with console. Console, you just give the game out to a person, and they could play it, and they could play it. You still would have to buy the game again anyway. But it's just much easier sharing process on console. So that right there, that became fantastic. But that's when they started this whole sharing is caring. I give you a game, you give me a game right back. We can share games, which I find interesting about that, because that's whole argument started because of the whole digital download, and they tried to usher it in before people were ready for it, which is funny because you have it now. Yep, you actually have it now. Now, the interesting thing about that too is, hold on, allergies. The interesting about that is everybody went through all that push and shove, even myself, over the digital download, and I figured, hey, look, if I'm going to do digital download, I'm going to do it on build a PC. Because again, you know, I might as well build a PC. I didn't like the way where console was going with this whole DRM. And I'm not used to seeing it on console because it's a console system. Especially if you've been playing as long as I have on console. You're not used to seeing that kind of energy. So that's why I started directing building the PC. Because I'm going to build something, I'm building a future machine. And that's why I spent all the money for the expensive parts. Because I'm building a future system setup. So anyway, that went on with that whole sharing is caring and DRM and all that. And meanwhile, Sony was going to do the same thing too, but Sony was smart. Sony kind of sat back and watched Xbox do it first. You know, anybody else want to volunteer? Everybody takes 2 steps back. You're the only one sitting forward. Yeah, that's what they did. So Xbox did it first, and Xbox crashed and burned in the process. Sony saw them crash and burn and turned around and said, hey, you know, we're not about that stuff today. We're about sharing is caring. They pulled the whole complete 360 right there. But the funny thing about it is the PlayStation owners were sitting there saying, no, we were never into that. Yes, you were, because you had a 500 gig hard drive sitting on your system, the same thing the Xbox had. Why would you even build a system to begin with? You know it's going to take 40, 50, 60 gigabytes out of your system, including the OS. And you're going to put a 500 gig hard drive in there knowing this? No, you were banking on the cloud too, like Xbox, but you watch Xbox crash and burn, and you turned around and did a 360 and said we never did anything about it. Later on, the 1 terabyte came out, which I have sitting right there. And they made 2 versions of the terabyte. They made the Fat Boy, which is the bigger body, and they made the Slim. I got the Slim. The Fat Boy came with an optical output so you can hook it up to your system. The Slim didn't come with it at all, period. Ah, yeah, interesting. PC Guy knows your history. Yeah, you know why PC Guy knows your history? Because PC Guy was console before he became PC. And I've been playing on vector graphics and Pong when I first started off. You know, when you get that whole UHF in the back, you get that little prong system you connect in the back, then you go in the back and put the coaxial cable on it, and you switch it over to channel 3. That's my era. That's how old I am. Yeah. So, yeah, I know all that stuff, everything. And I know the history behind it because I'm a huge gamer, console gamer. I play just about everything you could possibly think of. But anyway, that's how all that craziness went down. So now, which is funny because everybody went through that whole fight. They didn't want to be bothered with it. They didn't want to do the whole digital download. You know, we don't want that, blah, 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 blah. Just to turn around and get digital download. You got it either way. There was just no way around it. You just weren't ready for it yet. Some people aren't ready to be rushed into technology. It scares the crap out of them. It does. You can't do that. You have to gently ease it in there. That's how you do it. It'll scare the crap out of you. Like drones. Drones is a perfect example. When drones first came out to the community, drones had been out. They use them in the military all the time. They've been out for years. Drones have been around. But you can't just spring something on people at the end of the day because you will freak them out. He's got this ship sitting here on the corner with a 911 sitting on a flashlight and it's floating in midair. That would freak you out. Like, what the freak kind of Terminator nonsense is this? They got to ease it into the system. So what they do is they start having developing these little drones, little toy drones. You know, kids got them and they're flying them all through the house and all. You're playing with drones outside. Everybody's got drones. And then the generic companies build generic versions of them. And now drones are everywhere. And you're used to seeing drones all over the place. Like, oh, yeah, it's a drone. That's freaking cool. There's a drone right over there. Wow, look at that. There's a drone right over there. You're used to it. And then they police the system. Now, if you own a drone, you have to register it. They have to know who owns that drone. Your name, your address, all that information. Much like when you drive a car, that's how drones, you fill your application, you register your machine. So if you fly in a certain area, you hit something, you strike something, and they get the serial numbers off that machine, they can track down the owner of the drone. Which means there's certain airspace you can no longer fly in anymore. Certain areas you can't be anywhere, and some parks don't even allow you to fly drones in there. I can show you several parks down here in Allentown that says no drones because they're considered to be spying machines now. They weren't spying machines before. It's just some cool thing flying around. Everybody was used to it. But now they register them as spying machines. Now, police got them. Military been had them, but police got them. And they fly those things all over the place. They can go anywhere they want because they got jurisdiction clearing anywhere they want to go with the machines. Heck, they can even pop up in your backyard if they want to. Because they can just say, hey, look, we're just observing an area, but you never know where those cameras are actually observing at. And sooner or later, one day, you're going to see they're floating on the corner, military drone with a 911 symbol on the side of it and fully armed. Why? It's faster, it's quicker. It can get in areas that helicopters can't go. Helicopter can't go into a parking lot. Sometimes they use that that heat signature to scan the parking lot to see where your car is. They actually have that heat signatures, but a drone can go in there and get you, and it's armed. So yeah, that's why I said you got to ease it into the system. You can't just boom, and people will freak out at the end of the day. That's what happened. So the whole DRM thing, it was going to happen either way. There's no way around it. It was going to happen. So now, without disc, without cartridge, this was the thing that was keeping the holy grail of your system together. Cartridge and disc. You know why? Because when we have different formats of disc, that means you can't play my games and I can't play your games. That's what separates. That's what the hedge in the middle right there. But now when you make them digital and download, everybody can play them now. They can go to any platform they want. There's no hedge anymore. You can go as far as they want. You want to go over here to PC. You want to go over here to Xbox. Xbox wants to go to PC. Xbox wants to hit games on it. They can do that now. Because the only thing blocking them was the format, the disc format, the cartridge format, because it wouldn't play. So that means that there is a very strong possibility that all console systems, not the Nintendo, because the Nintendo doesn't, I think their games are not even digital. Are they digital? Hold on for a minute. I don't think they're digital. Yeah, I'm looking at it for a minute. Oh, I forgot. I'm sitting there. How dumb am I? I'm shaking my mouth like, why is my freaking system not coming out? It's right there. I'm working on it. It's my other phone. Just my two phones in here. There we go. I'm sitting there like, my friends are going to laugh at that. Like, yeah, I seen you on there shaking your mouth. Like, you do know you're working on your machine right now. Like, yeah, I kind of figured that out. I was like getting up in the morning, iron your clothes and find the iron's not plugged in. Like, really? I just did all that and it was never plugged in? Because, your mind's not there. I wonder what their format is. I know it's not digital. I know it's not digital. Let me see. Because I bought Nintendo Switch games. Are all Nintendo Switch games digital download? Not all Nintendo Switch games are digital download. So, majority of their games are basically in format. Yeah, I kind of figured that from the door. That was smart. See, that was real smart. So, they're going to be the remaining console. Right now, they're going to end up being the remaining console. Because, again, people are not seeing, like I said, they're going to easily, slowly put you into this transition of digital download. Now, once they do digital download, problem you're going to have here is that your games now can pop up on any form of platform due to the fact that the disc or cartridge back in the day does not basically hold any barriers now. They can go anywhere they want, any format. Developers can take your exclusive games and they can throw them to any system they want. Heck, you can find God of War on an Xbox system. You can find Halo sitting on top of a PlayStation system. And if that basically cooks your lunch a little bit or eats your lunch a little bit, it's right there in writing. Just the problem is that some people are in denial. So fanboy, you have been dissolved. You are no longer needed. And the reason why? Because there's nothing there. You don't have nothing there. I'm talking fanboys for both parties. What do you have there? You don't have nothing there. You have a digital download game. That means that game can go to any format it wants. Any format. That's why we got your games over here on PC right now. The digital download. That's why. And our games can go over there, but I doubt that's going to happen. And I'll tell you why, because there are games we have on our system they will never allow on a console system. There is literally a game called Hatred. Certain games that they have that are forbidden games, you will never see those things on it. It can't give you that. There's no way in the world. That's why I said the PC is an adult gaming system. That's what it is. You guys got games on there, but y'all got certain, parental guidelines and stuff. We get the hardcore, crazy, psychotic stuff. And you see a psychotic game come up there, we get that stuff. We get any kind of crazy game or whatever we want. And developers are most likely, if they're going to be, if I'm designing a game, I'm going to put it on a PC. You know why? It's got better hardware. That's why. It gives me more room to play. That's like if you're a landscaper, right? Say you're a landscaper, right? And you're good at your work. You're amazing at your work, right? And you get this little piece of land to show what you can do. Or would you rather have all that to show what you can do? All this land to show what you do. You got hedges, you got everything up there, man. You can really get in there and show what you can really do. But then over here, you got this little cutout square, a piece of lawn right there, no bushes, nothing at all whatsoever. You can't really throw your work into that. It's nothing there to work with. There you go. Now you understand. That's why they rather build on PC. You know why? Because of our hardware. That's why. So with that being said, and now with the digital download now being here, you're basically going to see your games popping up on other systems, which we're seeing right now. And it's nothing new. Your stuff has been popping up on PC, and I'm shocked myself, since 2020. Since 2020, they've been downloading your games on PC. Since 2020. Now, if they've been doing that since 2020, they're not going to stop. They're going to keep on going with it because they're making money. Now, you have the ability to make money. Like if your platform is locked, it's only locked to you and you only, right? You can only make money. It's about the businessman, the money now. Forget about the fan stuff. Let's talk about money. All right? What keeps the company going? Without that money, if that system shuts down, fanboy, your system no longer ceases to exist. This is what happens to people who are fanboys of TurboGrafx 16, Neo Geo. They don't exist anymore. You know why? Dreamcast, Sega, all that. Because the system went under. So they're going. They port your games over to other systems. Not only can they make money now off you, they'll make money off PC. They'll make money off Xbox, and Xbox will turn around and do the same thing. Xbox has made their games designed so they actually can be formatted and play on other systems like your tablet, your cell phone. It's Microsoft, for goodness sakes. You know it's going to show up on other platforms. Definitely. But one day, you might see it pop up on an Apple. That's going to blow people. It's like, what the freak? Did I just see Halo on an Apple system? Yeah, the digital download. That's why. It can go anywhere it wants to go. And they have just now tapped into a resource that they can make a ton of money real quick. Because in order for it to be on PC, that means they'll have to redo the system, redo the game all over again to adapt it to PC. And PC stuff comes on differently. Our graphics are going to be much more higher, much more advanced. We get all kinds of special perks, especially for waiting for the game to give it kind of free. Your DLCs, we get all that stuff money for free. We pay like $2-3 or maybe a penny for it. We don't pay a lot of money for it. So we get the little perks in there, you know, at the end of the day. It used to be, I remember back in the day, when you bought a physical disc from PC, they would put like a mug in it, cup, golf club, whatever. You remember back in the day, way back in the day, when you'd buy stuff and you would get physical stuff with it? Yeah. You know, it's really jacked up too on top of that. If they get rid of the whole exclusive games, the cool toys you get with them. Remember, you would pay for that certain game? I paid for a game. I got a Lancer from Gears of War. I got the gold limited edition because I paid extra for the game. You're not going to get it. How can they going to give you that now? If the game's digital download, they're just going to give you some little piece of paper like here, just type in this right here, and there's your game right there. Pretty much, yeah, they were doing that. Matter of fact, honestly, they were doing that way back on the 360. Because you would buy a game, and they would basically have it on the thing. You would just type it in. Like your live subscription would be the same thing. But anyway, Nintendo has majority of their games on a physical disc. And they do have some games digital. But majority of their base games are going to be on are physical. Because they know that if they make it digital, it may pop up. Or they could block that. They can block it altogether and say, hey, look, we'll make it digital, but we don't want our games going over there. Because remember, just because it's digital doesn't mean that it automatically pops up on the system. They have to get permission. It's a licensed game. So they have to get permission by saying, okay, we give you permission to use these digital downloads. Now, that'd be copyright problems all over the place and trademark problems. They give you permission. If Nintendo does it, I guarantee you, they're not going to let one of those digital games go anywhere. It's going to stay on their system because they're known for doing this. They've been doing this for years. They're known for doing this. Nintendo will go out of their way to make it virtually impossible to pirate one of their games. Hardest games to ever pirate is a Nintendo game. They're nightmares. Even people that are the best of the best modders, they're nightmares. They're absolute nightmares to get around. They go out of their way to make sure you're not going to touch or modify their systems or nothing. I see more modified systems with the Xbox and whatever. When it comes to their systems, you don't see a lot of modifications, but they're really hard to do. But anyway, and it should be that way. Again, they work hard. I mean, piracy is wrong at the end of the day. We're going through that crap right now. We're taking you to court for that right now. But anyway, so, not piracy, but copyrights. But anyway, so I think they're going to lock their stuff in. They're not going to allow anybody to touch their stuff. Mind you how big the library is on Nintendo. It is huge. Nintendo has the biggest library. Remember, they're up there with the Genesis. The Genesis is a massive library. Nintendo's massive library. How many of those games out of that massive library do you see on the other console systems? You really don't see a lot. They trick out a little bit here and there. That's basically about it. That's extremely smart. Because in the long run, they're the underdog. Underdog always comes up on top. They sat back and they watched everybody else feud and war with each other back and forth, and they watched y'all. And now your games are showing up on a PC platform. Pretty soon you'll be up on an Xbox platform. Pretty soon Xbox will be showing up on a Sony platform. You know, because they're watching these guys make money now. They can make more money now because instead of waiting for it to come on PC, they can put it there right now, right there, and get that money. Just like on my console system here, it's a PS4. You know how old the PS4 is? It's 11 years old. Remind you, I've been around. I'm not talking about somebody just started with console. I've been around a long time. I've watched entire systems go under. I watched TurboGrafx 16, Atari Jaguar, the Neo Geo. You ever heard of it? FM Town Marty? I had one of those things. Here today, gone tomorrow. Here today, gone tomorrow. ColecoVision, all that. I remember watching when the ColecoVision came out, the games were $50. And then like by next month, the games were like 50 cents. System company collapsed. Just like that. Watch the Atari 2600 go under. Watch the Atom go under. All those big systems going. And then you see them up there in Woolworths. You see them up there in freaking KB Toy Store for like these really just slash the prices on them like crazy. Yep. Now all the games you see back then are now on emulators now. You can just get a RetroPie and play all the old games from back in the day, all of them. One of the games you sat there and got in your library, you paid $60 for. So maybe $80 for. If you had Neo Geo, maybe $100 something for. So the worst thing they could have did was if they kept it digital, they should have kept it digital exclusive for their stuff only. And they should have never gave out those they should have never gave out the whatchamacallits, the exclusive. That was a bad idea. That was a really, I don't know whose idea that was. That was a dumb idea. That was a stupid idea. Very stupid idea. Yeah. But maybe the reason why they are going to be doing this, I'm just going on a limb here, take it as a grain of salt. Maybe it's because they're going to become third party. You know, you have to understand, when they launch something, there are people online listening to chatter, information, feedback that they get back, the surveys that they take. How do people feel about this? Sorry. How do people feel about that? That information comes back to them. How did they receive the system? What did they like about it? What did the influence think about it? All that comes back to them. You know what happened when the PS5 launched? Well, number one, they were hard to get. We all know that from the door. When the Pro came out, it got a lot of bad reviews. It was super expensive. Cost a lot of money. People, the console gamers, didn't want to spend that money. PC gamers, on the other hand, looked at it like, ooh, man, that's a easy build right there. You know what I mean? Just buy, you hook it up, you're done. Boop, boop. That's it. That's how we think. We pay for expensive parts anyway. It's $700 you pay for your systems, what I can pay for on a graphic card. So you can pay for that in a power supply. So again, pay for that in RAM. Literally, you can pay for that literally in RAM. But anyway, so we're used to expensive parts. So for us, it's like, man, $700, man. Even at $1,000, that's still, you know what I mean? You pay for that with a PC, easy. If you're going for elitist status, but you'll pay for that. So it's like if I added it up real quick, sorry, go off top of here. If I got an i9 processor, an MSI motherboard with 128 gigabytes of RAM, that's going to cost me about 400, maybe about 90 bucks. That's a PC, a motherboard combo. It comes with the motherboard in piece and the i9. And the i9 is really nice one. It's probably 12900K, right? That's a really good processor with a motherboard. And motherboards with MSIs, if you ever had one of those, they're digital. The boards are amazing. So that's a whole different type of motherboard besides this stuff right here. I mean, you know, if you're not an overclocker, you can't go in and basically how to overclock your CPU. There's a button on that thing. You just press and just overclock your stuff just like that. That's insane. And there's a little digital screen that pops up that allows you to monitor your motherboard's activity. That's what that thing does. And they have that for $495 with an i9 processor to go with it. That's $495. And you're paying $700 for a system where that motherboard and that i9 processor would dance circles around your machine. Now, you got your graphic card. If you got yourself an RX, let's say let's get an RX 7600. That's what I'm about to get, right? That is an OC, mine's overclocked. It's a DDR6, right? And I can basically run that 6 gigabytes of memory on that system, or 6 gigabytes of memory on that system, right? That cost me $300. So technically, you know what I mean? But a little bit more, I got a system that's way beyond your setup. The motherboard is upgradable to anything we want. Strip everything out, put everything, upgrade it. There you go, will. It's like the equivalent of buying a car and this is, I know mechanics are going to go nuts on this, but just hear me out. We're entertaining something. Just buying a car and the platform that you have in your car allows you to change it out the Rolls-Royce parts, the Bugatti parts, because the platform you have allows you to do that. Well, can you imagine if that was a possibility that you can actually do that? Just have a giant motherboard inside your car and you're like, you know what, I want Bugatti parts. And pull this out and put that in. You see the power of Bugatti? That'd be insane. But anyway, it's like that. So you can start off with standard, but your motherboard allows you to be able to upgrade to Pro if you want. So it's I lost my train of thought on this one. It'll come back later. Got caught up in the whole PC thing. But anyway, it's a long story short, people just get around to it. Your system, okay, there we go, I'm back on track now. They got that feedback of all those people complaining how expensive that system is. There's no way in the world they're going to be able to build the PS6 any cheaper. They can't do it. It's not going to happen. Parts are expensive. Even if you have big contracts at the end of the day, they're still expensive. You want the high performance games. That's what you want, right? You got to pay the toll for parts. That's what you have to. That's how it works. You're not PC. PC at the end of the day has multiple parts. Multiple parts. You can literally get cards from 2012 that'll run games today. You can literally get older parts that will still function and run your machine. I can literally run your God of War off parts that from 2016, 2017, easy, off your system. So we have so many parts out there, it's not even funny. But the console system's designed differently. You don't have parts like that. You have consoles. The only thing you have, you may have, but they give you RAM capability to change it out, which you don't, and they give you hard drive capability, what you do, what you can. That's it. But imagine if your console was made that you could take all your parts out and put it back together again, which you would have a PC, by the way, you won't have a console anymore. Then that means you would have manufacturers going out and making multiple versions of these parts. They'll be duplicating these parts, and these parts will be all over the place. So now you got, right now, if you want to change out the hard drive, you got multiple companies that make the same hard drive that will fit in your system. Now remember, that wasn't so at one point. At one point, console had it where you only can use their special parts to be used in their system only. For those who sitting there saying it's not true, Xbox. Perfect example. Xbox had special peripheral ports on their controllers for their system only before everything switched over to USB. It was a special port. It can only be used on their systems only. The Xbox One. Right? PlayStation had it too. PlayStation 1. Big old wide port that you would plug in like a memory card, right? Later on, they started going USB. USB makes your system compatible with anything, with PC and whatever. If we wanted to run your controllers, we had to get something called a Joybox. Joybox is a machine about that big, about that wide, has a bunch of ports on it. Plug it into it, automatically button maps your controllers for our keyboards that we have over here for PC. That's what it did. Formatted it. That's a Joybox for. But now you don't need anymore because everything now is USB. Just plug it in, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. Heck, Windows can even read your stuff at the end of the day. And you're not even Windows, which is mind-blowing, isn't it? A PS5 controller is not Windows. But yet you can plug it into a Windows operating system, and the Windows can go in and basically make your controller compatible to be played on Steam. Blow your mind, ain't it? Crazy, ain't it? But anyway, so they got all that chatter back. So it's not going to be possible to build the PS6 more powerful than the PS5 because the parts are going to cost you more money because you don't have a ton of parts in circulation to be able to break down to get cheaper parts. Only on what they allow you to be able to have. That's it. And they're not going to allow you to get on. They're never going to give you the freedom to do that. They're never going to give you the freedom to go on your console system and change anything you want. Because if you can go in and change anything you want in your console, what's the point of going out and buying a console system when they bring one out? Because you'll be to build it. What's the point? The only people who buy PCs are people that don't build. If you build a machine, you know how to build, you're gonna buy it. You know why? Because you know they're gonna put parts in there you're not gonna like. Like, you know, I hate the freaking hard drive. I hate the RAM. The video card's pretty nice. The processor's nice, but the rest of that's crap. That's what I look at when I go on the freaking iBuy or I go over to freaking Best Buy. I'm like, yeah, that's all crap in there. What the frick am I gonna use that for? I'm gonna strip that machine down anyway. I'm gonna void the warranty on it right from the door. So yeah. So they're not going to allow you to do that. And then knowing that the feedback they got on the machine was not received too nicely because it was expensive. Yeah, so that third party thing, it's going to happen. Because again, perks for them, they're going to make money on whatever platform they hit. They're going to make that money. Perk. They're going to make that money back. That's what people in business, they said, well, what's the benefit of this? What am I going to make back? What am I going to get from this? We make this change. What's going to happen? We're going to make more money. How are we going to make more money? We're not secluded to our system anymore. We're going to go to PC. We're going to go to Xbox. We're going to go to Apple's new system coming out. Whoever else comes up in the mix. We're going to go to all those systems. Our games are available on all those systems. We're going to make money off everybody. So being stuck here on our own console system. I guarantee I went on a board meeting. While you fanboys are sitting there talking about, oh, it's all about us every single day. It's all about, I'm talking both of y'all fanboys. It's always about us. It's about us every day. It's about me. Me. No, not anymore. It's digital now. It's not about you no more. It's about money. It was always about money. It's about money from day one. It was about money. It's a business. About money. That's it. They put you in that whole fanboy perspective view and strategy to get you to buy systems. So let's say we have Xbox, we have Sony here and Xbox here. Let's start a war. We'll basically bring out something, you bring out something. We'll go back and forth with each other, back and forth. We'll build up fanboys on this side and fanboys on that side, and we'll make money. How do you know these companies don't work together? It's business. Don't worry, I was a fanboy too. I was an Xbox fanboy. Everything. I'm doing online talking about, yeah, I want Dexter, there's no PlayStation. What the freak I want some PlayStation for? That thing is trash. I was one of them, yep. We bleed green over here. Green. Not because I'm Eagles, but yeah, we bleed green over here. We never catch me in a day playing with a freaking PlayStation. That's a waste of my money. I had one a long time ago. I didn't like it. I had the first one that came out. I didn't like it. So man, I won't go near. I had one time and that's it. I'm never touching it. I'll never buy one. I bought one. I like it. I like it a lot. I have it right there. I actually love it. Yeah, I was a huge fanboy. It's a business at the end of the day. And you still got some people up there still playing the childish business game. I tell them, no, I'm gonna be Xbox forever, Xbox for life. Your games are now on other systems and other platforms. I can play your games on my cell phone right now. I can play it on my tablet. That's the one thing too. Now Xbox is betting on this whole, I guess, platform controller. You know, controllers never went well with console systems. The only one that went well with Nintendo. Nintendo's the only company that has successful in portables. Every other system don't have that kind of success. They don't last that long. PlayStation had 2 of them. They didn't last that long. And then you got the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck seems to be doing pretty good, to tell you the truth. Honestly, it's doing really, really good. I actually plan to buy one. But as for Xbox, I think this might be the first one I've seen. Yeah, because Genesis had the Nomad. I remember that thing. That thing was huge. Just like eight batteries. It was huge. I had one of those before. And then Genesis had this other portable one. It's a smaller one. It came with Mickey, something Illustrated Avenger or something like that. I forgot what that thing was called. But anyway, I remember that too on top of that. It was more smaller than the Nomad. The Nomad was the one they made for basically the Genesis. The old version Genesis, the one you had, but yeah, 2 versions, the Genesis 1 and 2. One came with the headset, was in stereo, the other one didn't, was a more smaller version of it. But anyway, so yeah, that's that right there. But the thing about it is that when those systems had their portables, their games were only on their system only. You couldn't go out and get games like on Genesis that were made for Genesis games. You couldn't buy them on Nintendo. You couldn't buy them on Neo Geo. You couldn't buy them on any other platform. You had to buy them on that particular system. So if I bought the little portable, I was just playing a portable version of the previous larger console I had at home. Those games weren't found anywhere else except for on my system. Same thing like Dreamcast. Same thing. Dreamcast had these little tiny memory cards that pop up. Same thing. But the problem I don't understand about Xbox is, why would you come up with a portable system if your games can be played on multiple platforms like cell phones and tablets? Why would I go and spend the money for your freaking handheld? I can play it on my cell phone. That's a waste of my money. Oh, because it has a control port on it? You can Bluetooth your controllers to your cell phones and play from there. What would be the point of that? That's just a waste of my money. I'm going to give you $400 or $500, what that thing costs. And the same thing with the PlayStation. Y'all got a portable unit too. Why would I spend the money for that? Your games are sitting on other systems right now. So, yeah. So what's going to happen is, again, I'm pretty sure they listened to that chatter. And they probably thought, you know what? We bring out the PS6 and that thing's going to cost more than the Pro. Man, they are going to hit the freaking roof over this thing. And we may not get the money we're supposed to get. Because, mind you, they invest all this money into this. They have to sell so many of these units to make their money back in some. If their numbers are low, this is not good for them. They lose money. And their investors are very unhappy. That means their investors don't get money. And they put money into it and not going to get money back out. Yeah, people put money in their stocks. That happens too. The ripple effect goes off. So, it may be cheaper to just skip the whole console. And let's just bring out a portable system, which I don't know why they would do that, but let's bring out a portable system, much cheaper, lighter, whatever. Person carry around enough games anywhere you want to go. You know, just pitch that light right there from the door, and we'll make our games on every platform. That way, we can skip the console, the hardware, all that stuff that costs money. Don't have to deal with scalpers anymore, any of that nonsense. Just get rid of all that, and we just put the games on everybody else's platform. Now, doesn't that sound a lot easier? See? And then that way, you don't have to worry about going out and spending the money for a new console system every single time they make a new console system. You have to worry about spending that money anymore because the games are all digital download. You can play on PC or you can play on your original system. I don't think they're going to make another system. I think the Pro is it, and I'll tell you why. There's a big change that happened to the 4. The 4 does not look the same way it did before. I know what that system looks like. I had it for over 11 years. There's something different about it. The games look sharper. They look more toned, more refined. They just look different. And the updates that went through that, I was reading through those updates, because sometimes I never look through updates sometimes, but I went and checked the backlogs and the updates. Different updates, a whole different restructure of the architecture structure of that machine. They changed it. That's why the games look weird. The games look much sharper, more vivid. Now, you mean to tell me you could have did this a long time ago without bringing out a whole new console system over and over and over again? You literally could have went in and did that through software? What the freak did I just pay for all this money for? Oh, yeah, just kind of thoughts. Don't even think about it. It'll drive you nuts. The PS4 looks different. A lot different. I had to go through the backlogs of the system and read through what they had in there. It's different. I knew something looked different because I remember that the PlayStation games were kind of dull because it's an older system. They're kind of dull, and look kind of a little rough around the edges. That thing is vivid and sharp. And then on top of that, there are options that I can get access to the menu that I literally couldn't get access to before. I mean, you could just manipulate anything you want in there. Like, good gracious, I'm playing around with a lot of stuff in there. I got the game called Dead Island 2. That is so sharp and vivid, man. And my monitor over here, that's a piece of crap. That's an old monitor. That thing doesn't. It looks like it's a new. No, these are old, man. It's like a 720p. It looks incredible. Like, what the freak did they do to the games? Now, think about it. They're still making games for that thing. They're still making games for an 11-year-old console. If you've been around as long as I have, you know how it works. Old console dies. They stop supporting the online support, for they cut the servers on it to push you over to the new system. Unless you're going to play on the system, you're going to play online. They make majority out of 100%, I say maybe 98%, it's going to definitely go to the new system. And then they'll trickle down a couple games for the older system, maybe a little bit here and there, and then after a while, they'll cut it off. And then you'll be on the new system, because all the games will be made for this. Why in the world, if I'm a programmer, would I make games for an older system when I can make games for the newer system? That's what we're going to do. All the licenses will be going through that machine over there. We'll cut the other one off. That's why when you look at your game collection, your older systems are sitting on a shelf where they're part of the collectible collection, and the new one is out in the open in front of your entertainment center, unless you're an old school gamer, sitting out there, taking its place until the next one comes up, and that will end up on the shelf over here, and the new system will be there. You've been doing that back and forth. We've all been doing this back and forth. So, with that being said, would they make this whole thing, your console, your exclusives are already there already. They already started this mess in 2020. So, with that being said, they get rid of the console altogether, and now make it all digital download, and you'll play on every platform. Now, this is the part that's going to hurt the fanboy a lot. So, I hope you're sitting down. You will switch to PC. All of you will. You're about to go full circle. You're going to go back where you came from. I get into these conversations all the time. People say, no, but console. No. PC was here first. Because your games were developed. Your hardware is PC from day one. It is. Console wasn't here first. Console didn't build PC. That'd be crazy. If console built PC, how come the parts that go into a PC are more superior than console? It would be the other way around. So that machine, PC, is responsible for your system, the build of it, the architecture, structure, the games, everything. It's just more of a watered down, cheaper version than itself. That's what it is. That's what you got. Compact unit. That's what they gave you. It's beautiful. It worked. Trust me. I bought tons of them. I love them. But that's what you had. Now you are going full circle now. You are going to digital. You are going into now the mainstream. And when you hit the PC, you will now be PC. Because you were hitting there anyway. Now, since everything will be digital download, right? Everything, all digital download for everybody. Everybody wear cross-platform, which is going to be beautiful. Because, you know, everybody can play with each other, which is cool. Cross-platform now, you will now be on PC. If they basically still support your console system, which will be interesting, because you know why? Because your server, you have to connect to that server to play, right? I have to connect it to play on the system over here, right? If they do decide, which I hope they do, to just make it all digital, games go everywhere, but they still support their servers, which means they're still going to make money because you still got to pay for subscription costs. Yeah. So, you know, people are going to pay that subscription cost. I just did. I just paid for renewed my subscription cost on my system over here. So I play console. I do both. I know I sat there and said in the day, I said, man, you're about to become a hypocrite in a few minutes. Like, you know, I like my console, man. I do. I love my console. I like the games at the end of the day. There are games that I want to play on that system that I won't play on that system. Even though they're available on that system, I'll play them on here because I'm console at the end of the day. And on top of that, I really don't feel like doing the game all over again. Do you have any idea how much man time I put into freaking castle defenders or dungeon defenders? Do you have any idea how much grinding that game takes at the end of the day? That's a lot of freaking grinding. And mind you, I got all the characters. All my characters are over 50% done in there. It's a lot of freaking grinding. A lot of money I put into those games. A lot. To get armor, weapons, all kinds of achievements. Barely making it by the skin of my teeth to beat bosses in there. Hours of man-hour of hard work to build that game up to where it is. You think I'm going to do that all over again on PC? Oh, heck no. That's just too much freaking work. Far Cry? Yeah, I beat all those games on there. Another one. What's it called? Not Bioshock. I can't. Borderlands. Do you know how much grinding goes into Borderlands? Because, you know, you have to check. Some people just run through the game. No, I'm one of those people like the farm. I will check every crevice, every corner of every freaking area. Everything. You can never play me in co-op because I'll drive you crazy. I got to check everything. Every back corner, because that's where they hide stuff at. They hide stuff way in the back, in this back corner somewhere, in some dark alleyway, in a trash can, under a dumpster. You'll find some of the most craziest stuff you've ever seen in your entire life. That's what I'm going through right now in Bit Island. I check everything, man. Everything. Come up with some cool stuff. I got some crazy weapons on it right now. Got this huge giant machete with lightning coming through it. Yeah, because I dig through everything. But anyway, I'm the grinder. And I do the side missions too, because side missions make you stronger. You do about 20 side missions, people come up to you and say, hey, good sir, I need so-and-so, and you ignore them, man, you're missing out some insane weapons, man. They'll send you some crazy quests. They'll come back and like, oh, look, I got this bloodstone. That's what I got from playing Fable, the bloodstone. You know what the bloodstone does, right? It gives you immortality, so immortality. Every time you kill somebody, your health goes up. Yeah, you put that stone in your sword, yeah, and you got this one hit, one kill, you know what I mean? Something, denominator or some crazy stuff. So I got all these like stones in mind. One of my guys is a bloodstone. If I slash you with that sucker and you bleed, I'm energized. So it gives me like immortality in the game for bigger bosses. Yeah, them side missions definitely pay off. What was it? Someone did a meme on that. It's funny. You came in the door. All right, look at this here. Yeah, when you first start off, you got the most crappiest freaking armor on the face of the planet. Your stuff is just trash. It's trash. And you ain't got the money. You ain't got the money to go and buy. You go to the armor shop and you see all the cool armor. Like, wow, I wish I can get all that, man. You're like, if I got that, man, I can conquer these goblins easily, man, with that kind of armor right there. But you ain't got it. You do them side missions, you will come back all gold. Because you get crazy weapons. You'll be all gold. And an enemy come at you, just be throwing weapons at you. Be like, when should I kill it? I'll give it some time. Make it think it's doing some work. Yeah! Whoop, with this giant sword with flames coming across. Got a huge skull in the front, breathes fire. Summons dragons and stuff. Just wipe out half the board. Like, oh, yes. I am supreme power. Yeah, that kind of stuff I'm doing side missions. But anyway, people sometimes ignore those. Don't ignore those side missions. They tell you to go do something. Go do it, man. You'll find some crazy stuff. But yeah. Long story short, what the freak just went on here? Long story short, it's not looking good. And they're not going to put the money into it right now. They're not going to spend the money. Everything's going to be digital download. If they do support the online support, the servers that actually allow you to play your games, which I think would be pretty cool, and I think they should. That'd be nice. I mean, they make their money because you pay that monthly subscription cost. I don't mind paying it, you know. And for me, for people saying, well, I thought, at the end of the day, PC is more superior. Look, man, you put those man hours in and you finish those games, those really hard, complex games. I beat a lot of games on that console system. I am not doing that crap again. I used to hate that nonsense. Oh, yeah. GTA 3. So basically, one of the achievements is to beat the first level without saving your game. I got that achievement, but man, something happened to me in the way on the save. My game froze in the garage. You go through that, you just be like, and then you can do, just look around the room with these big giant owl eyes like, did that not just happen? That didn't just happen. That literally happened to me in the game. It was an achievement. Remember how long the freaking game is on GTA? We all know that. And usually, mind you, the GTA, I think 3, yeah, you couldn't just cross the bridge if you wanted to. The bridge was gone. It blew out the bridge. When a guy came in, they had this big, heavy cartel guy on the bus, transporter bus to go to prison with you and 8 Ball, and his people blow up the bridge to get him off, to take him out. And while the bridge is going, you take off because you're a free man, and you meet it with 8 Ball when he helps you out with some business, and that's all that craziness gets started before you become Tommy Daddy. But anyway, yeah, that's how that goes down. But yeah, so one of the achievements was you had to beat that whole level. Once you beat the level, the bridge opens up because they're repairing the bridge. But you had to beat that whole level without saving at all, which means you can't die. And I actually got that achievement, but I got it twice because I had to do it again. So I went there and I got it, and I was happy, man. I got the Humvee. I was driving across the freaking bridge. I got myself, spent the money, got myself a nice garage, you know what I mean? Because big garages, that's what you want, because you can put bigger vehicles in it. And I went to put the game in there, and it froze. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This did not happen. This just did not happen at all. Oh my goodness. You're ranting, talking to yourself, and you got people in the house, you're talking to them about what happened, but they don't care at the end of the day because they don't understand. Go outside, you scream for a couple of times, you got that kind of temperament at the end of the day, and all you can do is just sit there and just accept it. You can't do anything about it. You know what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go back in there and go through that same process all over again. The only good thing about it is, at least you know it's coming. Because you did it already, so you know it's coming. Because I got that one where you must be meeting somebody, and these guys come out of nowhere, they try to kill you. But now I know exactly that these guys are going to come out and try to kill me. I'm going to get myself a rocket launcher and wait for these jokers and take them up because I know where the car is going to be at. Before, you don't see the car. The car is sitting right over there, but you don't know it's them. Remember, it's the first time you're playing the game. You don't know it's them that's going to come in and attack you. But the second time around, I know you're there. So this time, I'm going to come around the corner and blow you up with a rocket launcher. Yeah, mission done. Makes it a lot more easier. But yeah, still you got to do it all over again. But then you got areas that weren't really that easy. Like in Vice City. Is it Vice City? Where they have you flying that airplane with the short wings, and you got to pass out the flyers, but you got to hit these pink bubbles. God, I hate that freaking mission. I crashed so many times on that freaking dinky one. And the other one, where you got to race that guy. He's supposed to be your driver, but you got to prove to him at the end of the day that you're good enough to keep up with him. So they don't give you no fast car. They give you the most dinkiest car that you could possibly get out of the collection of all the cars. It don't, turning's bad on it. The acceleration is bad on it, and this guy's car is souped up, and you got to beat him. And they got these little pink balls all over the place that you got to hit in order to basically, you got to pass him. I got lucky in that one. Excuse me, because he was kicking my butt. And there were cars, for some reason, I don't know what it is, that the minute you do a mission like that, every freaking car in the game wants to bump into hit you, wants to cause an accident with you. You can be driving through the game, and these cars will come near you. But the minute you're in the mission, every freaking car wants to slam into you. It's just crazy. Pedestrians will pop up out of nowhere. You got police chasing you, cars on it. Oh, you got to be freaking, this is not possible. I got lucky, and the reason why I got lucky, because when we swung around that corner before we were going across the finish line, his car swerved and hit a tree. And he couldn't back out. Remember, it's a machine, and I went around it and won. I was like, yeah. And then that's before, mind you, when you get the game so new that the cheats are not even out. Remember the cheats? The cheats back in the day. Yeah. Man, I tell you. Whew. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm telling you that story right there is the same thing on the PS4. I got games on there, man, that took me forever to beat. All the grinding, all the work, everything I went through. There is no way in the world I'm playing that game on PC and doing that process all over again. It's not happening. That's just way too much work. There's no way in the world. I beat on Borderlands. I beat all the games on Borderlands. I even beat all the DLCs. I'm a big fan of Borderlands. Beat them all. I'm not doing that again. That's a lot of work. So, no, I'm just going to stay certain games here and certain games there. But the fact that they're still supporting that, the fact that when I go into the marketplace and I see PS4 and PS5, PS4 and PS5, sometimes I have some games that won't, but that's very little. Majority of their games are on that PS4. So they're still supporting that machine. I got the same thing going with cloud, and I can go in and I can basically load games on the cloud. I can stream games. Oh, same thing. Same thing. And with that new update they put in there, wow, it looks amazing in there. It really does. See if this works. See if it works. Yeah, Taco, I heard you. Wow. Are you disagreeing with me? Are you disagreeing with me? How dare you? How dare you? I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy, 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 man. But we'll see. We'll see. Only the future will tell what goes on with it. The fact that I saw God of War on a PC and I saw The Last of Us on there, I'm like, what in the world? First time I saw it, I was like, because I didn't know. I didn't know they did that. I don't really follow too much on that kind of stuff. You know, I followed that kind of stuff way back in the day when you had Dreamcast magazines and all that stuff. You know, the cartridges, people were all hyped up about that. That's when I was following them, magazines and all that stuff. Now today, not so much. You know, but I saw that on there. I was like, wait a minute, what the freak? What's this doing on here? Yeah. And I looked up and I was like, since 2020, I've been doing it. Because, you know, it's not the kind of game I'm going to hunt for on my PC. I've got certain games I play on there. But that wouldn't be one of them. Definitely would not be one of them. Now, would I be getting God of War for it? No, I'm not a God of War fan. I'm not. When I had my PlayStation over here, I've never, ever purchased God of War, ever. I just never played it. Oh, no. I had played it. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. I just can't get into it. Like, I really just can't get into it. But it's an amazing game. It's freaking amazing. It's just some games I just can't get into. I can't get into it. Kingdom Hearts, I played that for a little bit. And I went to that thing with Ursula Under the Ocean with My Little Mermaid, and it drove me freaking nuts. I got lost down there somewhere. I was like, I'm done with this. We're not doing this again. I might go back to Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy, never played. Final Fantasy turned me off on the first one. Because it's not my type of game. I'm a hack and slash kind of guy. I'm not used to basically giving out the command and it does and it comes back. I'm not used to that. So I'm on kind of hack and slash kind of guy. But I did see a Final Fantasy. I was like, Final Fantasy is a beautiful game. Don't get me wrong, but never sit there and say, oh, the game sucks because it's not hack and slash. No, it is an incredible freaking game. I wish they would have made it so hack and slash, you know. But then they had some versions that are hack and slash. And buddy was like, man, they got a Final Fantasy. It's not, you can hack and slash on. I was like, really? I said, yeah. It's a beautiful game. It's unbelievably beautiful. But, no, it's not for me. As a matter of fact, on my cell phone, I got the sunset of Final Fantasy on my phone. I love the artwork. It's beautiful. The storyline is beautiful. I just couldn't get into it. Maybe I'll go back and I'm gonna finish one of those games. I'm gonna finish one of those games. I want to finish a Final Fantasy game. Ah! Getting burned. Okay, it seems to be up there. Seems not going anywhere. But I don't know. I'm gonna finish one of them. They got one that is hack and slash. I forget which one it was, but I'm gonna finish one of them. Beautiful made game. Beautiful. Can you take me higher? Oh, you don't want to go there. Why are you fighting me? Why are you fighting me? Why? Why are you fighting me? Why would you switch over to the dark side? I need you to stay, Johnny. Stay. Yes, we're doing cardboard PC modifications. That's what we're doing right now. Man, for the way the console guy was talking about saying old parts, man, majority of most PCs, people were gaming got old parts in it. You know how much money? If you were going out and getting a PC with all high-end parts, you wouldn't even need half that stuff that's in there. You don't need all that. At all, period. Oh, yeah, the PlayStation. Yeah, I actually got into an argument way back, way back. Where I switched over. I didn't want to do console anymore. I was tired of the whole DRM stuff. They kept switching up and everything. It was this, it was that. I'm done. I can't do it no more. And I went over and built myself the Steam PC. That's what I built. And I remember being in the forum site and the guy was like, you were a console at one point? I said, yeah, I was console. But I've always been console. I've been console from day one. I was console before I was PC. Because PC in my era at that time was super expensive. Way before that, dude, you're getting the Dell. It was so expensive. It was so expensive. And you weren't really, at the time, you would get like an 8-bit graphic card. I said 8-bit graphic card. Yeah, it was crazy expensive. Excuse me. 8-bit graphic card, whopping 14.4 hyperspeed. You know, that's what it was at the time. Gotta start somewhere, people. You know, it can't start off the door right from there. Everybody's got to take baby steps. But anyway, that's what was a big thing back then. JBL speakers, you know, all that cool stuff. Remember back in the day? That sound card you had, just so you can hear sound. I remember basically having I told you, back in the day, we had a Tanny PC. You had to put in 3 pages of code just to get the color red. Just to get red to flash on the screen, you had to type in 3 pages of code just to get red to flash. And it was amazing. We got red to flash on the screen. That's insane. Oh my goodness, it's blue. And even do multiple colors. It's doing blue, red, and green. Wow. Yeah, there you go. Some mind trip back then. Because you weren't used to having all that technology like we have today. Now, Gen Z, which is interesting because I got a bunch of them in my family, and I would tell them about the stuff that we had to go through. They were like, nah, you didn't go through all that. Yeah, we went through that. You know, we've had tape players, man. Your tape would pop. You had to go, you had to go turn into MacGyver. Because tapes were expensive. Them TDKs and freaking Sonys, them suckers weren't cheap. They're $7, $8 for freaking 2 of those tapes for like $7, $8. Sometimes you get one of them. TDKs, or what's it called? Maxwell. Maxwells were expensive too. Maxwells would cost you like $10 for one Maxwell. I remember that. So if you wanted to basically fix your tape, especially if you had some hot jams on there too on top of that, I mean, you spent up all night listening to Power 99 before the Quiet Storm popped on and got all the best music so you can hook it up on your boombox and play it the next day. You had to be the freaking, you're the editor. You're up there just click, 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 click. Because every time you talk, you had to get it off. Goodbye, you're blasting this music outside. And you want to hear Power 99. My name is Tony Brown. You don't be hearing that blasting across the neighborhood. You just want to hear your music, the music you want to play. So you had to do your whole DJ. Late at night, make your mixtape. Get all that stuff. Your mixtape was a thing. I made your mixtape. If you really liked the girl at the end of the day, you made a mixtape. You put all the songs in there that were love songs to explain how you felt about her, but it was in music. It's called a mixtape. You ought to try that today. Do a mixtape today. Or can you do one of those? Anybody have the equipment for that now? Here's a mixtape, but it's cassette. I don't even own one of those. Good, it's an adventure. Go get a cassette player. And I'll make it an adventure. You know what I mean? Give her the mixtape. She'll get a kick out of it. She'll laugh her head off. She'll find it interesting. They got me a cassette tape. Where am I going to get a cassette player from? She'll go out and buy a cassette player. Or you can give her a cassette player. It'll make a difference. Take it back old school. Because that's how it was. If you like the girl, you put the best songs in there. Everything that talked about how you felt about her. And say, here, I got your mixtape just for you. And they like that because you know why? You took the time to select these perfect songs to make this special tape for her. And we're like, oh my goodness, he made your mixtape? Yes, he made me. He specialized this for me. Yeah. Now you got men on camera twerking. Please. Anyway. But yeah, I remember the mixtape era. He made me a mixtape. Oh my goodness. We write on it, so and so, you know. Category each song, a little heart next to the one that's special, closer. Yeah. That's what it was. But yeah, I remember that, man. You get tape pop, you're like, oh. You gotta get like MacGyver. You can't go get a whole new tape. You can't buy that. You got music on there. You gotta fix that. So what you got to do is you got to take it apart. Get yourself a nice little Phillips screwdriver, and you got to take apart your tape player and take your little wheels out and put them over here to the side. And then you got to take the tape out, and you got to find the area where it's twisted, and you got to cut it here and cut it there. And then you put the piece of tape, like a Scotch tape, you lay it down flat, and you lay both pieces down so they connect just like this. And then you put another piece of tape over top that. And you take a razor blade and you slice it here and here, and you got it mended perfectly together. Now, the only thing it's going to do is when a song comes up, it's just going to skip a little bit, but nothing. It's going to play perfectly fine. And then basically what you do is you put it right back on the wheel. You put it in, hit it on top. You got these little metal pieces that connect here and here that allows the tape to scoop in and out. It goes from here, it goes around here from the feeder that hits the heads. Put that on there, put your screws on there, repair it yourself. I took one of those over and gave it to my Gen Zs and said, here, fix this. That was funny to watch. It was like Odyssey 2001, sorry. Like, go ahead, fix it for me. Because they were like, man, you guys, we got it hard. We got it hard. You understand my life. We got it hard. I was like, really? Huh? All right. I brought back a lot of the old school stuff for them. Next week, we're doing a rack system. Pioneer full rack system. Cassette player, amp, preamp, record player, the whole 9 yards. I'm going to have it all taken apart. They got to put it together. Get sound to come out of that. Oh, there's no Bluetooth. There's none of that. There's no app for this. There's no app. No, this is hands-on. And you're going to have to be the chance. My cat running back and forth. You're going to have to be able to know how to daisy chain those wires. Because you're going to have to be able to hook this to that, and that to this, and this and that, and that, and that. And the amp has got to run through all of that, so it powers all that at the same time. Then you hook all that to the preamp. Yeah, I got the paper cone speakers, all that stuff. Throw it out there, like, go ahead. Let's see what you got. Come back. They would confuse. And I take their phones for them, by the way. No phones when we do this, because again, they'll Google it. That's why. So I snatched their phones from them. I'm like, oh man, like, hey, get together. I'll buy lunch. Anywhere you want to go, I'll buy lunch. Oh, the conversations in there is funny. People do it all the time. They give them the rotary phones. Like, what the freak is this? Phone. Now, I don't know how far some of you go back, but I remember rotaries when I was coming up. The rotary phone. And you had, now when my mother was coming up, those letters you see, that was your phone number. It was letters instead of numbers. And later the number system came in. But at first it was letters. Can you imagine if the number system never came out and the rotary still exists? Can you imagine texting somebody on a rotary? That would be freaking hilarious. It would take you forever to send that text. 3 days later. Yeah. So that right there, man, that's crazy right there. The rotary phone. I remember the rotary phones. We had one too. We had one that was off canary yellow in our kitchen. First, I remember when the wall phone came out too. That was a big thing too. The wall phones came out. Yeah, it's a big thing, man. Take your phone off, and then your phone, you can hang it up on your wall. It was hot, like cling. So people would hit it and bounce in their hand. You know what I mean? And then when people got that, then they came up with the cordless phone. Cordless phone, this big metal antenna that stuck out of the back of it like a walkie-talkie. Like you're about to call an airstrike. They had those right there. It had like 600 megahertz, 900 megahertz, because the higher your megahertz, the higher your frequency would pick up, the better you can basically. You see people out there in their driveway talking on their phone, like, oh shoot, man, you're out in the driveway with this, man? That's insane. Like, how are you doing it? Man, I got like freaking like 1200 megahertz on my phone, man. Snap the antenna off, you're screwed for life. And so they start making the ones that basically you can just unscrew them and put them back on. I remember all that stuff. Yep. The car antenna. That's another one right there too. Car antenna. You had to wear some bonehead snatching your antenna off your car. So I got mad you would snatch your antenna off your car. Especially if you had the Cadillac, one of the more expensive cars where they had the motorized ones that came up. They were expensive because there was a little motor to keep it contracted up and down. It was pretty cool to watch. Remember the car with the flip lights? Pontiac had them lights. Fiats had them. The flip lights didn't. Now, I'm going to tell you something. They had to bring them back. They need to bring back the flip lights. I think the flip lights look hot. They need to bring them back out. Pontiacs had those. They need to bring that out. And right now, I tell you, between the air and cars, between the 60s and 70s were the best. The 60 and 70 era in cars were the best. The 50s, yeah. The 50s, you had the 57 Chevys and all of them, yeah. Those were nice cars. So I would go with probably 50s, 60s, and 70s for cars. I would say in that range would be the best range for cars. Those are real cars. Cars after they are crap. They are. You couldn't put me in a plastic car if my life depended on it. I'm not getting in that freaking vehicle. It freaks me out to be in them. You know why? They're plastic. You've seen a bumper on the back of a car? You ever look at the behind? You ever really take your hand and rub it up in there? See, it's hollow. You got styrofoam in there for your lights or whatever padding they got in there. That's not a bumper. That's a piece of notebook paper. There's a light screwed into it. No. That's not even, I'd be scared to death to get hit with one of those things, man. You don't even have, your bumper can't even take a 5-mile impact. You back up on that in a parking lot, you'll crush your bumper. Dent the side of your car and everything. Get a 57 Chevy. You ever pick one of their freaking bumpers up? Old Cadillac, 1971 Cadillac. You pick one of those up? That was a bumper at the end of the day. Steel. It was a steel bumper. And some even had those huge notches that came up on the side in front of them. The reinforcements. Yeah, you got hit with one of them? I think Back to the Future. when he was in the 50s and he was driving a DeLorean and he was talking about ramming Biff's car, and the doc had to remind him, he's like, oh no, you don't want to do that. So you have to understand, that car's from 1950s. They were all steel back then. This over here is fiberglass. He'll cut through that like a hot one through butter. He will cut right through it. Yep. Come on, move. You're doing too much right now. I'm watching you bounce back and forth all over this. You're doing way too much right now. You're doing too much. Too much. You need to relax yourself. Relax it right now. You're doing too much. Running around acting like a madman. Go sit down somewhere right now. I'm watching. You're doing too much. I don't mind him jumping around having his fun, because sometimes he just goes too far with it. And he knows better. Alright. Just like kids at the end of the day. Kids will do things when they know you're busy or doing something or you're occupied. That is their time to do dumb stuff around you. And he will do stuff like that. I want to see something where these are hidden at. Look at him. You know he's in trouble. You know he's in trouble. You know better than that. You know better than that. I watched what you saw. You don't even try to jump up and run on that. You'll never catch him up there because he's not supposed to be up there. He's like, but he's a cat, isn't he? He's supposed to climb. Not on my stuff, he won't. That's yours at the end of the day. But yeah, nope. The Patriot's all steel. That's why it's armor-piercing steel vehicle. That's why I like military vehicles. It's armor-piercing steel vehicle. Damn it. I was trying to pull the whole thing off. That thing has ballistic-proof, 3-ply ballistic bulletproof glass. It has Kevlar doors. You can hit that thing with a rocket launcher. It'll dent it. It'll do some damage, but you're not messing with anything inside. Yep. Even the bottom is armor plated. It's a tank, literally. Consider the fact that's what it is. I've been wanting one of those for a long time. I'm getting me one. I like that vehicle. It's a big vehicle, by the way. It's like a tank. Makes a Hummer look like a freaking Honda. Things are huge. Ouch. Mother George. Get used to that for a while. I'll get burned 20 times on freaking... Which one? It's not even funny. But yeah, make a Honda look like a freaking... Like a smart car. And things are... Patriots are huge. Are you going through the drive-thru? You're not going through the drive-thru with that thing. Oh, heck no. And you will take up 2 parking spaces. That thing is big. I think just about. I watched the which one, how this guy was driving around. That thing is a Brinks truck. It's big. But I want one. Now, if you get the right clearance, you can get the ones with the switches in them. Switches are the ones you can operate all the heavy hardware. Because they can be fully loaded. With some very interesting hardware. But you ain't getting any of that at the end of the day. Ain't no anywhere going to let you. And vehicle's not civilian, by the way. But you can have them. You can have them. But anyway. Yeah, plastic cars. My ex had that plastic car, man. That thing freaked me out every time I got into it, man. I prayed every time I got in that vehicle. Because if we hit something, that was it, man. Now, they told me they put in that whole titanium crumple zone. Yeah, crumple zone's all good and fine, but not when your freaking fuel line is basically bursting fuel all over the place and you're about to turn the barbecue. That don't mean jack at the end of the day. Period. Crumple zone don't mean jack. Is that freaking the fuel system? Is that in the crumple zone too? Is that thing gonna get it down? Because yeah, no, And if you're in a crumple zone, it's still got to cut you out of to get you out of to begin with. A lot of things can go wrong while you're in a crumple zone. No, I want a steel vehicle. I like to know that I'm on the road and my vehicle's made out of steel and everybody else is all plastic. I like that feeling at the end of the day. And people have like those cars, and people get offended too. They get mad and upset. Go, what do you mean? It's a plastic car. Do me a favor. Go outside to the back of your car, right? And just put your body on, go down low, and pull your bumper. See how fast it comes off. Bet you can rip it off. I bet you I can rip the bumper off. If you could do that, that's a problem at the end of the day. I had a buddy of mine used to skate with every day. We used to play hockey. And we were skating by, he had a real bad car accident. His car wrapped around a pole. You could see the driver didn't make it. You could tell. He's pretty in bad shape. But he wrapped around, of course, a plastic car. It wrapped around that pole. And the other car was a steel vehicle. It hit the brick wall. But it was not much damage in it. I mean, basically, the front was all ripped up and everything, usual. But the inside, nothing. Some of those older cars had firewalls in them. My brother had a car like that, had firewalls in it. His engine caught fire. He was not burned to death because he had a firewall there. Yeah, steel car. He drive steel cars anyway. But anyway, Yeah, my buddy was like, look at this. This is crazy, man. We're looking inside the cars, and the other car, like the plastic car, is done, man. This is steering wheel is sitting in the back seat. You know that person. Hopefully he survived it, but good gracious. So in the back, you see the bumper hanging. It must have recently happened because they had tape up there and everything. We weren't supposed to be there anyway, but we're just curious. And you can see the bumper there. And the bumper, he looked at it, was like, oh my God, what the freak is this? And I was like, wow, that's it. That's the bumper that protects your car. Like literally, it's like a shell, and it has these little pieces of styrofoam in it. Put your lights in there. I'm gonna look at the research on these bumpers today now because I looked. I was like, and he's like, oh heck no, I would never buy. I remember buy this car. He drives an old. He drives a truckster. He drives the big old family. The Brady Bunch station wagon. That's what he drives. He drives those. He likes those. He got it all with the big wheels and tires and stuff on, and everything is hooked up. Got the sound system in the back. That's what he drives. That's his car. He will not drive a plastic vehicle. He won't do it. That changed his mind right there when he saw that vehicle sitting out there like this. He was like, oh heck no. Nope. Nope. I ain't doing it. There's no way in the world. And then I got to get in the car. When I take the lifts, oh, my heart's going doom, 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 doom. My heart's racing at 100 miles an hour when I take a lift with people. I get in the car. Because we hit something, man. We hit something. It's not going to go well at all. It really isn't. Being inside of that plastic car. You're inside a plastic fiberglass vehicle that if it catches on fire, think how fast it burns. They can suggest we make it out of a structure that burns less. I don't care. Why did we stop making steel vehicles? Why? What was the purpose of stop making steel vehicles? Maybe money-wise. Maybe it's cheaper, it's more affordable, and we can keep more money back to ourselves. I don't know why. We should have stuck with steel vehicles. That's why if you look at the muscle cars, the steel vehicles today cost more money than the plastic cars we have today. And people sit there and say, but they have a whole computer system in there. There's sensors. Sensors are freaking nuts. And let me tell you something. It used to be a time when a man, probably guys can still do this today, that a man can listen to the engine of your car and know what's wrong with it, know how to tune it. Now I ain't gonna hook it up to all this diagnostic stuff, you know what I mean? It's like watching Knight Rider, an episode of Knight Rider. You know what I mean? You got all these little cool perks and stuff, and half of that stuff doesn't even work to begin with. Some of that stuff has all kinds of communication errors where this is not working right, that's not reading right. Windows don't roll up and down, so they have issues at the end of the day. Sensors are going off. They're telling you the tires are flat. Tires are not flat. I mean, we went through that with the car that she had. They kept telling us the tires were flat. We got to nothing wrong with the tires. Tires are flat. No, we had to go get that fixed on the car. They had something with the sensor in the windows. That was carrying on and acting up. It was all kinds of stuff. Alternator was having issues. Oh my goodness. I was like, man, this rather just take it back to old school. I'd rather be doing this with my windows at the end of the day. Any day. That's why I like the old school vehicles. And car wise, 57 Chevy, my favorite. 57 Chevy with the wings. That's my favorite right there. I would get an all black one. All black. I don't want it low ride. I don't want it. I want a little bit more because I like off-road vehicles. I definitely would put in a interesting shock absorb system in it, designed to climb over stuff. I mean, it's not like that, but I mean, basically designed to top speed, good speed, nice tires for speed, but also the ability to be able to get amazing traction. That's what I want. Definitely want. I want it in jet black, flat black. That's what I wanted. The windows all in black. The whole entire thing, I want it all coated in black. Inside, I want it in white. But it has to be Scotch Guard because you know people would jack up your stuff. But you wouldn't be allowed in that vehicle. Only person to be in that vehicle is me and my cat. That's it. Those are certain vehicles nobody's allowed in. Period. That's how I would have it. That's the only thing I would change on it. That's basically about it. The engine had to be restructured and rebuilt. I need something on it with some power. Something with maybe a blower on it. Definitely. And I definitely would have nitro on it. Just in case. I never would probably use it, but yeah. Not doing that whole dinky seat belt, the ones that go across, like the ones that cross over, the ones that lock. Yeah, those are right there for high performance power. I like vehicles with power. So I like muscle cars, all that stuff. But that's what I would get. Definitely from the door. It'd be jet black. And that thing with pearl. I want it to sound like it growls. That's what I want. So they're sitting at the light, looking, I want to growl. That's what I want. You can get that done to your car to make them growl. Yep. So you just see this all black, smoky vehicle pull alongside of you, black tint, the whole entire thing, and it just growls. Oh, tell me that would not be sick. Now, as for my bumpers, because I already know my bumpers are steel, but I have people who basically do things. I'm definitely getting reinforced, that titanium armor bumpers in the back and front, or this thing's going to be built, it's going to be structured quite nicely. Even though it is designed, the basically it's designed to do, it's going to be structured, and definitely bulletproof glass. Like, what are you getting ready for, a zombie apocalypse? No, not really, just never know. You just never know. Things happen all the time. Definitely have to reinforce roll bars, all that stuff. Titanium reinforced. Now, you make a vehicle like that, already structured to be a tank, and you add that to it, yeah, and you got power. And it's made to go off-road too, on top of that. Yeah, that rise. Hydraulic system can drop and rise. Yes, that's 3. Hook my system up. Now, after what I saw, my niece had the drone port. You gotta have that. You gotta have a drone port. I will never forget that as long as I live. She was stuck in a traffic jam, and she wouldn't know what was basically causing the jam. And she hit something, and the little port popped up, and the drone came out and took off. And everything she saw came up on her screen. I was like, what the freak? Because, yeah, when she was touring, when she was in the service, and she was touring, she had those little glasses that pop over, and the drone takes off and scouts, brings back information back to them. She liked it. She had it installed on a truck. Comes back into the docking station, it charges itself, feeds information back to the front main central where her dashboard's at, and she reads everything from there. I was like, oh, what kind of James Bond nonsense is this? Can you hook me up? They hooked those up, by the way. I'm getting one. That Scout. She got a Scout. That's what I was reading about the swarms. They make the swarms, too. It's like watching a bunch of bees come out of a whole big hive. All these drones come flying out, and they communicate with each other. They talk back and forth to each other. So they can scan an area, a huge, massive area, and feed information back. They call them swarms. Look it up. Look it up. You don't believe? Look it up. Like, what? He's crazy. That can't be. Oh, shoot, it is real. Yeah, it is real. It's called swarms. That's what they're called. They're designed to communicate with each other. So when you see those drones all together doing a little dance and up in the air, boom, 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 boom. What you think? There's about 100,000 people down there operating with little remote? No, that'd be it. And there's no way in the world that would work. That definitely would have some problems. You got frequency issues. A whole lot of stuff could go wrong. That's like when you bought cars at Radio Shack, and if you and your brother had the same car, the other one wouldn't run. It would do that shutter. It would do that shutter because, again, the signals would cross. There'd be problems. You don't play in the other room, man. I'm going to play over here. That's what you had to do. No, you'd have problems. No, they're swarms. They communicate with each other. So if one syncs, they actually do all the same thing. You can program them all to do the same thing. Which is kind of freaky, right? All right, let me get this glued on here. I got to go to the post office after this. I got this song in my head. Don't treat me this way. I love the freaking 70s music. One thing I regret about, I never got a chance. I was a kid in the 70s. I'm 8, 9 years old in the 70s. I used to watch my brothers and sisters get all dressed up to go to the disco. Yep. And you see John Travolta out there dancing. They did that every Saturday. Went to the disco. I wish I got a chance to experience that. When I see people on the Soul Train line doing a dance, man, I wish I'd have got that opportunity to do that. Well, they did. They went to the disco often, every Saturday. I remember watching them all getting dressed up, and strong cologne, and the platform shoes and all that stuff. And it just, man, him and his well, now wife now, they went to the disco. And wait a minute, yeah, I forgot. The other ones did one too. There was 2 other ones. I did two. Two of my sisters, they went to discos too. Now my other one, the other brother, the older one, he wasn't into that kind of stuff. He wasn't into the whole disco music. He was more into heavy metal music. He was into that, you know what I mean? like Heavy Metal. Remember Heavy Metal, the freaking cartoon? It came out as a more anime kind of cartoon. He was into that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think I have the crazy bands he was into. Well, he liked Boston. He loved Boston. That's how I found out about Boston because he used to listen to Boston and Fog Hat and all that stuff. He was into that kind of music. That was his thing. Yeah, actually was on to Woodstock too. Went to Woodstock. He was kind of like he was kind of like he was interesting. He was kind of like a hippie in a way, but not the kind of hippie where that peace, love, and happiness. He wasn't that type of hippie. He was, I can't want to mention too much about what he was because he was in an interesting organization that had bikes. I'm going to leave it at that. A lot of people, uniforms, and motorcycles. That's the best I can say. That's it. That's pretty much what he was. So, you know, I remember wherever he was at or wherever he came from, he would like disappear for like weeks on end. And he would come in, and I never forget those spurs. He had spurs on his boots. And you hear that cling, cling, cling. First you hear the bikes line up. You see the bikes come up, and they all line up one by one by one. It was amazing to watch how they ride those bikes and how the way they line them up one by one by one. And then he would get up, and they would talk for a little bit. I guess they were in there for a while. He's probably coming. He was coming in and going back out. But I remember hearing that clink, clink. And he had, man, everywhere he went was always sand. I guess he was out in the desert somewhere from knowing him. But anyway, I do remember those ripped up jeans. I remember all that silver, the wallet chain, the bandana. And I remember, I can't tell you what was on the jacket, but I do remember that jacket. That jacket that had the emblem on it. And he had a denim jacket. He was wearing a vest. He had a denim jacket that would pull through the sleeves. I remember that, but I can't tell you what he was a part of. We don't talk about that. But anyway, yeah, he'd come in for a little bit and go upstairs. He was in the attic. He'd go upstairs and get a few things, and he'd leave out the door, and they all take off and go. Really, he wasn't around much. But he was part of something. That's all I can say. I do remember that Harley Davidson. He had a Harley Davidson chopper, 1960 model. Every once in a while he'd come and he'd talk this, that, and the other about this, that. That's why I was wearing. That's why I always wear a wallet chain. I always wear a wallet chain. Got that from him. That was him. He was a power lifter. He's a bodybuilder. And I remember they went to some kind of Kiss. They went to go see Kiss. And I remember they were trying to find a parking space. Him and his friends were all power lifters. They lift up somebody, they were joking how they lift up somebody's Volkswagen Bug and parked it on the sidewalk. And they parked the vehicle there. Like, yeah, they did stuff like that. He was an interesting person. Yeah. All about motorcycles. And his son, same way. Bikes. All about motorcycles. You barely ever see him in a vehicle. Barely ever see him in vehicles. Always bikes. 24/7 bikes. But that was him, boy. He was I never saw him fight or like that or argue. He was pretty quiet, but yeah, he was part of that group. Yep. So that was him at the end of the day. The older ones know him better. Like we come from a family of 10. So the older ones knew him better than I did. I was really young. I don't remember too much. I do remember seeing him from time to time. That's basically about it. Most time he was just never there. He had his own little world. He was like that ever since he was 16. His own little world. He built his own bike too. Built it with his hands. Built his own bike from scraps. And took off. That was it. So he felt at the end of the day that he felt he didn't belong. He wanted to be free. And he spends most of his time when he was young. Now he's older now. He just sits back and chill on his ranch. But he spent most of his time on the road. Yep. That's what he did. I'll see him again one day. And I've seen him in my timeline. I've seen him only twice. That's it. I'm going to see him again. I know where he's at. I had a hard time tracking him because I couldn't find him. Couldn't find him for Jack. Investigated. Nobody could find him. And then one day, he just popped up somewhere and I was like, ah, shoot. There he is right there. He's right there. I was contacting my family. Like, I found him. I actually found him. Hey, he wanted to disappear. He disappeared. He popped back up. Some people just don't. He's not a person that at the end of the day that gets along with people. He just don't. He stays to himself and he disappears. Got a lot to talk about with him, man. I've only seen him twice in my timeline. The older ones see them more because they grew up with him. So I got to hear stories with them about him to even identify who he is. And I know his kids. I actually found his kids on Facebook. Yep. You ever had someone in your family that you saw so less of that when you look at them, you can't believe they're family members? Like you can't see it. Like they look strangers to you. That's what it feels like he's a stranger. But you can see my mom. He was the firstborn. Good gracious, he looks just like my mom. Everything. He got her features. He got everything. He looks just like her. It's like a male version of her. Same eyes, same nose, mouth, cheekbones, everything. It's crazy. It was kind of more like he wasn't a black man. He didn't dress like a black man in any way whatsoever. Straw hats, multiple piercings. Whoo! It's coming out in it. I saw it coming out. Multiple piercings, like Dennis Rodman. That's the best way I can put it. There he is. He was a Dennis Rodman. Pretty much the tattoos, piercings, all that stuff. And he did not date black women at all, ever. Just didn't. He didn't find them attractive. He just didn't. He wouldn't touch them. That's just how he is. People some African American women get offended by that. If if a man chooses to be with another race, they get really. Some don't care, and some do get offended by that. Well, to each his own. That's why I wouldn't even get offended about that. To each his own. But yeah, he don't even date black women. I got people in my family who don't. They marry other races. That's why our family's mixed. We only got one person in the family that married African American. Everybody else is mixed. But for them, it just wasn't a thing. Like they dated black people before they have, but they just preferred outside their race. That's what they've done. Because the person who did marry African American, she's like, geesh, you got a lot of nationalities up here. I was like, yeah, we do. We got a lot. I am so glad we got these judges in there finally, people that are doing things correctly, reversing this idiot at the end of the day. That whole birthright thing I was talking about, oh yeah, they blocked that crap. They blocked that. He went against the Constitution. He literally went against that. You can't do that. It's right there. You had to point it out to him. Do you read? Yeah, he was, come on, man. Everybody knows he was just writing stuff for the sake of just writing stuff. I don't know how it even got that far to begin with. But impeachment is coming. Yep. Yeah, the world's an interesting place. I'll tell you why. Some people feel that other people get away with stuff and they're untouchable. Not really. Not really. Sometimes people will put you in a situation for you to do dumb stuff. So basically, you can make a long enough road for yourself, they got a better chance of hanging you. If he gets impeached, he is no longer protected by being the president. That means all those lawsuits are being filed against him in different states for all the dumb stuff he has done. All those people that are filed, he's going to get hit with all that. He is. They're going to get rid of him. He ain't going to be there that long. He's going to get an impeachment. They're going to get rid of him. You put a civilian, it's not even a government official, in the Treasury. You know what's in the Treasury? What sits in there? Your personal information is in there. All your personal information, your social security numbers, your birth, all that stuff sits in there. Everything. Everything about you. Your identity's in there. And he's sitting in there right now. With his little group is in there. His little programmers are in there. You happy about that? No? For those people who voted for him, that's what you voted for. I think after we get past this nightmare, anybody who, we know who you are, who voted for Trump, Your opinion don't mean jack right now. It don't mean jack. Don't ever come to somebody and says, well, my opinion. Your opinion means what? Your opinion don't mean jack. It don't. Who did you vote for? You thought you were making a smart decision this time around, didn't you? Your opinion don't mean jack. Didn't you vote for Trump? Oh, yeah. Shut up and sit down. We don't want to hear you. Yeah. You voted for Trump. Especially after what he did, and you still voted for him. Gee whiz. Talk about stupid on 12 different levels. Now they're in there on Facebook. They're not talking much in Facebook. They used to talk all the time. They're real quiet. Why are you so quiet? Oh, you got hit with that fire too? Oh, okay. So you thought the liberals and all them were going to get hit with all that fire, right? And brimstone and all. You got hit with that too. Some of those meters were bigger than you. We got, oh, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, you trusted them, right? Yeah, you did. You know what's more funnier? What's more funnier at the end of the day is the fact that we knew he was a jerk at the end of the day. We didn't do it, but it's funnier for you because you got the bigger wake-up call out of it all because you trusted him and he stabbed you right in your back. Good luck removing that piece of steel from your back, but it probably pierced a lung in the process. They were flipping out, man. I can't believe you would do it. Really? You can't? Really? I wish. Oh, I forgot. I got a family member. He won't speak to me, by the way. He won't pick up his phone. I call him every day. He won't pick up his phone. Hey, so, what happened? What happened there? Because he got hit with it, too. Don't think at the end of the day that only people that are basically people that are on welfare or whatever got hit with it. No, he cut a lot of programs in that thing. It was a lot. It struck a lot of people. It struck pensions, people's retirements, all that got hit with that nonsense. People put all this time into their company, wherever they worked in, to earn their retirement to get it taken away from them. A lot of people got struck. Did you see what was in that thing, that package he signed? It was insane. That's why they overturned it. That's why everything went back. As a matter of fact, he's pedaling back on a lot of his stuff. He was talking about starting that war with Canada, Mexico, and the other one with that whole freaking tariffs or whatever it's called. Talking about we'll postpone. Backing down on everything. And then he started the whole thing with the whole, get from out of there. You know better than that. With the whole thing with the whole immigrants and stuff. Immigrants, what we call them. Anyway, that should have never happened to begin with, number one. It should have never happened. He basically went against the Constitution on that one too. The whole birth rights, no, you can't do that. And America does give people the opportunity to come here and get their citizenship. If you're trying to get your citizenship, how are you going to try to get it if you're worried about somebody seizing you to send you back? That's just some dumb nonsense. And it's a whole freaking witch hunt. And then found out that he basically had some people that were supporters of his, and he basically brought them back in. Did you see that one? Deranged psychopath that, again, should have never did that to begin with. Now, am I basically against him bringing them back? You should bring them all back. Because, again, the jobs that they do at the end of the day, most people won't do. So, all you mag hats out there, how about you go out there and do their jobs now? Those hard jobs that they do, if they work hard, how about you do it now? Because somebody's going to have to do it. And I think we should vote that you guys do it. Let's put you guys in the field in the hard jobs that they work every day. You go do that now. I don't care what job you're in. Quit it and get out there and get to work. You wanted that, you get out there and get it done. But you don't want to do the work, right? You don't want to do the work because it's too hard work. It's beneath you. That's you at the end of the day. You better get out there and get to work. Yeah, y'all wrote that nonsense in. But now you see he's flip-flopping on stuff. Because you ain't got that kind of power at the end of the day. Just because you think you elected all those judges at the end, they handpicked them, and you thought you're going to write anything you want. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why we have these rules in place to keep presidents from turning into dictators. That's why. And for people at the end of the day got hit with that nonsense, you deserve it more. Because, again, you voted it in. Like a family member of mine who won't pick up his phone because he doesn't want to have a conversation with me. Don't worry. I'll pop up at your front door if that's going to be the case. You want to speak to me? I know where you live at. I'll come see you. We're going to have a nice little talk. I want to hear your point of view because I'm guaranteed, look, at the time when I was telling him it was a bad mistake, oh, man, let me sit down and talk to you about how you're wrong and how I feel that he's an amazing president. He's on Trump. I said, then listen to that crap. His stupid, excuse me, point of view on that nonsense. Now, you don't have the time to talk to me. Or I'm going to come down and see you. Well, I'll be out there, lawn chair, sitting out front of your door. Hey, what's going on, Chief? Got something for us to drink? Got some food? Let's have a discussion. Yeah, because he got hit with it. His pension got hit. Yep. Couldn't get access to it. On top of that, his wife has problems. She couldn't get to the portal, medical portal. They couldn't get to it. Her medication, all the stuff that she needed, couldn't get to it. It struck everybody. It didn't strike just people. People think that, oh, it just struck people at the end of the day that basically are bent. No, it struck everybody. All 50 states got hit with that. That's how big it was when you signed that order, put that through. So it affected everybody. Now prices are going through the roof. Things cost more money. Yeah. That's what you brought in. You brought somebody into office that's angry, upset, and full of rage. He's mad. That's what he is. He's mad. He's not for the people. He's for himself. That's what it comes down to. He's not for you. He used you to get where he needs to be at, and that's what he did. And you did the job. You got him in there. And now he's going to throw things at you, everything with the kids saying. He don't care about you at all, period. And he don't. If you did, you wouldn't be on YouTube crying and whining like you were about how he took your benefits from you and how you don't know how you're going to feed your kids, and people who got certain benefits to be able to live in houses and stuff like that, you know what I mean, took that too. And kids have medical problems where they have asthma or cancer or whatever, it took that too. But thank God people stood up and put things back to where they were. So imagine a person who basically voted for him and you can't get the medication for your child that has cancer. That's what they went through. They went through that. They got hit with it. And that's why they're on there screaming and yelling. One woman, she was out there screaming and yelling, how am I going to feed my kids? I'm going to take care of my kids. I need that money at the end of the day. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do something like that? Yeah, he did to everybody. So that's what we were telling you for the longest time of what you voted in. But like I said, ain't going to last long. Because they're going to impeach him. They're going to get rid of him. Come on, man. You put Elon Musk, who did, and it was what it was. We all saw it. People try to clean like, oh, it was, no. I'm a history nut job at the end of the day. I did study basically about Adolf Hitler and basically the what he tried to do with cleansing of basically getting rid of the Jews and all that. That is a salute. That's a salute. That's a Nazi salute. When they bring it from the heart and they bring it straight out. You try to change that from my heart from you. No. No one does that. If that's a thing and people do that, how come we don't see people do that every single day? No one does that. Do that stuff over in Germany, you get arrested. Because that's against the law. Can't do that. So how come if that's a thing and everybody does it, how come we're just not seeing this again? How come we didn't see this in 2024? We didn't see this in 2023. We didn't see it anywhere. Anytime you see someone give that salute, you know what the darn what that thing stands for. But they try to clean it up. And then these little Maggies come in and they basically try to do the same thing too. Like, you know, from my heart to yours, trying to be, and guess what? They get canceled right on the spot. One woman, she went in there and she did that nonsense and she got canceled. She got fired from her job. Because nobody wants to be affiliated with that nonsense. I don't know whatsoever. She lost her job. She worked hard, get a position, screwed it up that fast. Yep, there you go, gone. Just like that. And on top of that, now that's going to be on her permanent work resume. Now you did a Nazi salute. Do you know what stands behind that thing at the end of the day? Do you ever, I love it when people at the end of the day don't crack books. She's teaching her kid to do that little salute. Some other woman had her child doing it. Do you know what that stands for? Do you have any idea what went on in that era with Adolf Hitler? The things that went on in there is unbelievable. It's unspeakable. The horrors are unbelievable. It's like the most craziest thing you could possibly ever think of, that what they did. Those generals, and they had basically those people that were in charge of those Nazi camps, they did horrific, horrible things that you would never, the babies, 2 babies, because they didn't see them as human beings. They looked at them as animals. Do you know how heartless you would have to be to slaughter or kill a child? They did horrible things to those people. horrible things. What you see in the history books right now is just the lighter version of it all. If you had read the darker side of that, it'll break you. You'll break out in tears. It was that. It was bad. And you got a nerve to do that salute in America? Are you kidding me? Should have been off that stage. The minute he did that here on that stage, they should have got him off that stage and arrested him. That's not something you take lightly. That's extremely serious like that at the end of the day. They should have pulled him off that stage and they should have arrested him. Come on, man. Is this America or what? Where do we live? What's America now? Come on, we're either going to stand behind this flag or we're not. What's it for? Because if it's going to be like this, we're going to allow people to do that kind of dumb stuff, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm going to another country. That's I'm done. What's that flag stand for? How many people died for that flag at the end of the day? How many people basically gave up their lives for that flag, for freedom? And you got somebody did that on United States soil? Are you kidding me? Really? You know, my uncle fought against Adolf Hitler. And he lived, he survived it. Yeah, but he fought. Yeah, went through a lot of pain, a lot of torment. He passed away, he's gone. He's been gone a long time ago. A long time ago. He was in his 70s when I was around maybe around 11 or 12. He was up there already. He'd been gone. What do you think, a young uncle? No, he would be gone by now, definitely. If he fought in that war, he definitely wouldn't be around. He passed off this earth a long time ago. He fought in that war. Young man, 18 years old. Joined the service to protect his company. His country. At 18. Most people at 18 are basically out there chasing girls and having fun. No, he joined the army to protect his country. And yet people do that nonsense at the end of the day. Yep. And they make him head of the Treasury Department. No, that's just fantastic. That's what we do. Yep. Yes, sirree. So, you know, that's you want people to stand up, you want people to salute the flag, you want people to respect the flag, you want people at the end of the day to respect their country, but yet you let that nonsense go down. And in society today, it's so freaking worried about hurting someone's emotions and feelings, they tippy-toed around it. Other people came out and just said it for what it was. It is what it is. We all saw it. But you got some people that, well, you know, it could be and it may not. You freaking kidding me? Yeah, if that's supposed to be some kind of new from me to you, how come we don't see more people doing it? We don't, because you know what it is. You know, people are afraid to stand up. That's what it is. Cowards. It is what it is. I know we all saw what we saw. It is what it is. Some people are afraid to say the wrong thing because I might get canceled if I say it. No, we saw what we saw. And he should not be in the White House. He shouldn't be in the Treasury Department. He shouldn't be in any of those places whatsoever, period, at all. Doing that kind of nonsense. Then you got these freaking idiots, these maggers, doing it too. Now they're doing it. You don't like it, get out and leave. I mean, literally, anyone who does that salute, automatic should be deported out of the United States. You have to go. Because you don't really understand what that symbol stands for. You know what I mean? You think it's funny at the end of the day to do that salute. Yeah, if you went back in time and you saw the nightmare, what that guy did to those poor people at the end of the day, the horrors that went on, the things, the experiments and crazy that they did, yeah. That's what that stands for. All that horror. The horror of freaking of Adolf Hitler. From my heart to yours. That's funny because they pulled the files on him where he did that. My heart to yours. It wasn't that. He did this, put it to his heart like this, and brought it out. That's what that means. My heart to yours, not the other way around. Yep. But you know what makes me happy, people? Man can choose to do whatever he wants to do and this, that, and the other. But when the time comes, and you can't be here forever, as I said before, you don't get to be here forever. Sooner or later, you're going to still have to answer for it. So, play if you want on this world, have all the fun you want, lollygag, do all the dumb stuff you want. But where you're going in the next life, everything you've done has never been forgotten. Even the things you can't remember has never been forgotten. And you will pay for everything you have done while you've been on this earth. And the place that you will be going will be far more. You couldn't even think of how horrible this place is that you'll be going. There's just no way for your mind to even be able to process the nightmare that will be waiting for you. And you'll pay. You'll pay for eternity. Not a couple of days, not a week, not a month, not a couple of years. For eternity, forever. So that's where they're going. Yep. Let's just say these people change their lives. They become born again Christians, and they're completely different people, right? And that means that all the sins and all the destruction they cause on this earth, once they get baptized, they're all forgiven. It never happened. It's all forgiven. God forgives it all. Did I just give you sex? I didn't, did I? Oh, shoot, my bad. It's all forgiven, right? And that's what God does. When he forgives you, it's all forgiven. There you go. Sorry about that. It's right there, right in front of you. Right there. Look down, right there. Right there. Right there. God, your navigation system's screwed up. So, yeah, you got it right, you can be saved. But if you're not, then that's it. It says right there in the Bible that rich people, it's harder for them to enter into the kingdom of heaven. It is. It's hard for a rich man to go to heaven. Speaks of it, Jesus speaks of it in the Bible. Talks about a man that has great wealth, very, very rich, and he walked up to Jesus, and he talked about how he carries out the Sabbath, and he prays, and he follows all the rules and everything. And Jesus was like, well, hey, how about you give up all your worldly possessions and you come follow me? The man walked away sad and broken hearted. He didn't want to leave his worthy possessions and walk with Jesus. And Jesus observed it and said, look, it is easier for a camel to enter into the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of heaven, because their great wealth becomes their God. So, people of money and power, it's very rare that they'll make it into the kingdom of heaven. Which is crazy, because here on the earth, you got money and power, and the next life you don't got nothing, because everything stays on the earth. Man, this one blue. This one right here is fighting me. It's definitely fighting me. Really? It's fighting me. Whatever the surface is, we're never going to stick to the surface ever again. The silicone is a pain in the neck to glue to. It really is. It fought me every step of the way. So they gotta make glue out of bridges out of glue. It fought me every step of the way, literally. I'm gonna put a bridge in there so we don't have so much weight because we got this area that's open. I'm gonna find my cardboard. But for some reason I can't find cardboard. It's weird. We don't have cardboard on this. So I'm gonna put my little bridge in there. Man, that is like fighting me like crazy. Let's see, right here. You know, 'cause I need to lean in a little bit right there. Yeah. Hey, you really just throw yourself over there? Like, oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Case modification. I gotta paint the other case. That one's gonna be done with the neon glow. Got the test for the light system over there. We're doing right now. I'm trying to get my fingers burned. Man, that freaking Dead Island 2 is pretty good. I like it. I do like it. It's really good. I am really liking that game. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Borderlands in the first beginning, because in Borderlands, you know, everybody takes off together, and then you have this bus crash, and everybody, you got to pick which card you're going to use, which one survived the crash. Of course, I chose for that guy because he's the character of it all. That's what I chose, but yeah, it reminds me of that. It's a shame they all died. Let's see. Now I gotta frost these fans. All this has to be frosted. Whole thing has to be frosted. And I gotta go order my ice cubes. I literally keep forgetting to order ice cubes. Gotta paint that over there to put that right. But this whole thing is gonna be frosted in ice. And we gotta build the flying saucer because the flying saucer is supposed to be crashed in the bottom of this. I haven't got around to building that part yet. Yeah, that's what it needed. It needed a bridge in there. That's what I needed. That made it a little bit more sturdy to put that bridge in there. Yeah, that's better. Let me make another bridge. Gee whiz, come on, Mr. Butterfingers. Yeah. Come here and switch up a little bit and do this. So that's what I like about it. I can switch up from time to time. But I had to get the orders done, and I had to get a good part of that screen done because, man, I'm so tired of just looking at that unfinished screen. It's driving me crazy. Like, we got to get that thing done. We got to get it finished. I got to show progress. I told you, if I don't get a certain amount of stuff done in a day, I'll go into depression. I will. I go into deep depression. I have to have a certain amount of stuff done. I guess that keeps me from becoming lazy and slacking off. Gotta have a certain amount done. Just coming there and see this screen done already, it makes me so happy. I finally got this thing finished. You know, at first it wasn't like, it would have been easier if I had to figure out, like, do the fixed frame screen or motorized projection screen. Would have just been so much easier to do, but we had to literally figure this thing out, how to do it without touching those walls, and that became one on itself by itself. I remember going over to get a few things, going to get a few things and thinking that, Lord, how am I going to do this? How am I going to put this thing together? Because I can't touch the walls, I can't do this, I can't do that, we can't paint. It's so much easier. We can't do any of that, period. Like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to get that in there? And we got it done. And then on top of that, in the process of trying to figure out how to get this done, problem solve this with God, we got a whole new panel technology now. I mean, he blessed us to do the shifting technology. Now that shifting technology is incorporated. Look at this thing. I love this screen. This screen is huge. It is huge. And then we got the lighting system over there. I'm testing one out right now. So that's the one I had stuck up here. But the problem was with that one was we needed heavier magnets. Heavier magnets is definitely going to be needed for that. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. We needed that extra support in there. I'm going to put another one here and here. That's what I'm going to do. That's working much better there. Okay. I learned one thing: whatever zombies you kill, special infected you kill, will now start popping up on different levels. So, some reason in the back, although I like to explore everything, they had these huge. Well, all I saw was these booby traps set up, and they had this. I thought they were regular zombies back there. It was this really big zombie back there. I was like, what the freak are you? And he would hit the ground and the whole explosion would go off around him. And I was like, oh no, we can't handle that. So I ran from it. It'll chase you to a certain degree. So next thing you know, this zombie comes up behind me, was chasing me, and I'm fighting that zombie. And sure enough, what popped up, that thing came out of the garage. And it was huge. I was like, oh shit, I can't kill it. So what I did was I actually climbed up on a bus, and it couldn't get up on the bus. I climbed on the bus. I was like, oh, vantage point. So I get close enough to it, charge up and hit it. Charge it and hit it, charge and hit it. And eventually I killed it. So now they pop up everywhere. Yeah, and I ain't no nighttime triggered off in that game. I'm used to that in Dying Light where night comes in the day. But yeah, now nighttime pops up on there now. So I guess you activate things as it goes along. But that wedding zombie, good gracious, the one that jumps down the floor, I didn't fight that thing. You know what I did? I threw weapons at it. That's how I took it down. There was no way in the world I was going at that thing toe to toe. Because you had to time it just right to be to strike it. When it would come down, it would hit the ground, it would come up, that was you had to hit it. But you only get like, what, 2 hits in there before it hits you? So what I did was I ran from it and I threw weapons at it and I killed it. That's how I took it down. It took a while, but it did go down. And think about it, if you keep the other zombies, because the other zombies that come out after you too, when she hits that sonic boom, she hits the ground, she also knocks the other zombies down and takes their life source from them. So she was killing her own, keeping them close together, and running around and throwing objects and striking her in the head over and over again, and she went down. That's how I killed her. I didn't touch her. I tried to fight her the first time. She hit me. I was like, oh, I'm not going to last long on this. This is not going to happen. So she chased me around, and I basically threw weapons. I had all my weapons were, some of my weapons were maxed out. They were heavy weapons, a lot of damage, and I was striking her in the head with it. And eventually, she went down and she died. That's how I got off that level. Sometimes you got to think smart. You can't go head to head. There's nobody else fighting that. So now I just carry these big heavy sledgehammers in there, and I basically advance the structure on them, make them a lot more stronger. Because man, those things work when you got to take out someone from a distance. Now the other guy I met, the guy who had this party and something went wrong, and you go in there and he's up on top of this ledge with this gun. I hope he's going to give me the gun. But anyway, he was throwing grenades. And he said, you learn not to use grenades inside your house because you can blow your house up. Took out his stairs. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, he took the stairs out. Because that's one of the things they do in Zombie 101. They take the stairs out because zombies can climb the stairs. Apparently, they can actually walk on the water too. They can drift on the water. If they make it up on land, they'll be lost down there because, again, they'll be in trenches and everything down there. And God knows what may eat them when they're down there. But yeah. So, yeah, the first thing, if you ever played Left 4 Dead, any of the houses you went in, the stairs were missing. You had to climb up the side of the hedges or the bushes and stuff like that. Because that's what they do. They take out the stairs because zombies can climb stairs. It wouldn't be so much. That's one of the things I didn't see in World War Z, the movie. I didn't see special effects in there. Because those are the ones you would really have to worry about. The other zombies are slow. Well, sometimes they make them slow, sometimes they make them fast. World War Z zombies are fast. Looks like it's all freaking track stars. She's a runner, she's a track star. And their special effects, the only one you really worry about is the bulls. The bulls charge. That's the only one. Freaking freaking Left 4 Dead, man. Left 4 Dead has some jacked up freaking special zombies. The one that I freaking had the most fun laughing over people when they got attacked by it was that one little guy that would jump on your head and you run around this guy's head. I mean, they're crying like, dude, get off me! Get off me! Get off me! Oh man, it was funny to watch. I forgot what that little thing was called, little goblin, whatever it was. But you watch it jump on someone's head, you just be there crying like, get off me! Get off me! Get off me! Get off me! I was like, oh my goodness, it's hilarious. I like that guy. He was a creepy little goblin or whatever the freak he was. The spitter, the boomer, the boomers, they would just explode in front of you. Cause damage. The spitters, and then you had freaking the charger, which is the guy that had the one arm. We used to call it the Quagmire. Because remember Quagmire, when he found out about computer things, online, and he came out of the house with the giant arms. Hey, there's a Quagmire. Yeah, the witches, the wedding witch. I missed the wedding witch. The wedding witch was interesting. She was freaky as I don't know what, especially when you met her in the cornfield. Oh my goodness, there's witches in the cornfield. Like, what? There's witches in the cornfield. You went through at nighttime, too. And you could hear the crying, but you didn't know where it was coming from. You didn't know where it was coming from. Witches in the cornfield. You gotta... One of the things I like to do is I like to read the letters and notes from survivors. When you're in the safe house, you'll see them up there. And it's interesting. You read them. It kind of tells a little bit of the backstory, a little more about what was going on in those safe rooms and who changed and who didn't change. And the one when you're up in Louisiana, up in the swamplands, and you read about the witch, talks about the witch, and it talks about how this woman, she got bit, but she was changing. There's something different. How bit by bit she changed, and one day she just got up and she just ran out of the house, and they just keep hearing in the background crying, just weeping and crying in the background. But which is kind of also interesting too, because every time you witches, tanks and witches are always hand in hand. I don't know why. Certain special effects, if you see one, there'll be always another one right behind it. What is it with the bulls? The bulls have it's always popping up next to a bull. There are no female. There's no female zombies. There are female zombies, but there's no female infected. I don't think there's in Left 4 Dead. But I can't think of it. But the bulls, there's always another one that pops up. They're hand in hand all the time. Every time you see a bull, you're guaranteed to see the other one. I can't think of what it's called. It's not the boomer. Boomer's not that one. It's an annoying one too on top of it. I can't think of the name of it. And you got the bull. Got the bull one that explodes. Man, going out and play the game in that long, I don't remember. Gee, should have found me later. I can't think of the other two. There's two more, but I can't think of them off bat and what they were. Oh, they got the new ones. They got the ones that walk around. They got the freaking yeah.
The ones with the hazmatics. You got those, the hazmatics, that's another one. But there's another one, a new one they have that has these kind of like biochemicals on them. You take one of them things down, they can take you down. They can actually hit you and take you down. They have a lot of followers that follow behind them, like little other zombies behind them. If they hit you, they can actually take you down. Oh, and this is like a screamer too. It's one that has like some kind of microphone system that they're young with a hard hat on. That's another one too. Screechers. You get close to them and they go there, ah, and the room starts echoing. You're like, shut that noise up. Smack them with the hammer. Yeah, I like them. I like the Left 4 Dead. I like all the zombie series. It's funny that I'm playing Dead Island because I'll tell you something. I couldn't do it. When Dead Island first came out, I couldn't play it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. The intro that they had for it was freaking. It was just too much for me. It was so bad. Some games, people play some of these crazy games, and some of these games can be so bad that you can't play a game for a while. You can't. You can't touch it. You can't go for a game for a while. I literally went out and bought a Nintendo Switch. No, GameCube. I bought a GameCube. I played a game that was so bad I went and bought a GameCube. I played all kiddie games. I would not play any violent games. No games when I was shooting and nothing. It just completely turned me off on those type of games. I couldn't play them. No more. Nope. I had to play all these freaking Mario games and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like catch the pineapple and stuff like that. I couldn't go near any kind of games. Nothing with any kind of violence. I couldn't go near it. And the game that did that to me for a while was actually Dead Island. The first one that came out did it to me. The first one. The intro for me was so horrifying that I got rid of my system. I literally sold my whole system and went out and bought myself a GameCube and got Mario Kart and all that stuff. It just went all happy games on it. Nothing but happy games. I'm not playing any more games anymore like that. I'm buying all happy games from now on forever. It messed me up, man. You know, that and some of the intros for Twisted Metal. Oh my goodness. Twisted Metal had some of the worst intros I have ever seen on a game. But this game even messed me up worse than Twisted Metal. And I played Hatred, by the way. I played that game, and that game was really, really bad. Definitely. I think about an hour of that, and I took it off. I took it off my system. It was horrible. That's another horrible game. That's a really bad game. I bought it because I was just curious to see what the hype is. Yeah, don't want to go down. It gave me depression. I got rid of it. Gave me depression. Jacked up game. A lot of people get. Sometimes they have some really crazy games. There's a game called Killjoy. They never really made it to the console system. Because the game at that particular time, now today, wouldn't be violent. It wouldn't. But at that particular time, it was a violent game, and it never got launched. But it did get out. It actually did get out. Somebody leaked the game. They leaked the bootleg version of it. And if you had a PlayStation, the first one that came out, if you got it J-tagged, people could get you the bootleg copy. And I got a bootleg copy of it and played it. It really didn't seem bad. It was like Mortal Kombat. Pretty much that's what it was. Pretty much like Mortal Kombat. It was all thrill kill. And there was another one called Project Overkill. That was another one they were going to ban. I remember they're going to ban GTA. They're going to ban GTA when it came out with the whole flat bird top point of view or bird's eye view, because in the game you killed cops. And they had a big problem with that. They were like, no, we can't have games out there where you're killing law enforcement officers. You can't do this. And they were going to ban GTA. Now, if they had banned GTA at that particular time when that happened, you wouldn't have GTA today. Which is kind of funny because this part that's funny. I've actually played on GTA with police officers before. And I asked them a question. I was like, let me ask you a question. So you're an officer, and the guy was like, yeah. How do you get to the point where you have to kill cops in the game? How does that work? He said, well, that's just fictional at the end of the day. I said, but it doesn't mess with you at all, period. Yeah. You gotta think about that one. Yeah, I remember that. They were ban the game. But yeah. I did on. The intro was jacked up. It's messed up, especially when you see a kid get killed. That's when it's messed up. That's the part that's really hard to process because the kid got killed in the intro. It was horrible. First, I was trying to understand if you're barricaded in the room and you're knowing crazy, you got a balcony, you can see all the crazy stuff that's going on outside your balcony, right? Why is your kid out there running around to get bit by a zombie? Oh, the part that baffled me on that game was like, why is she out there? If you watch the intro, it shows the little girl running down the hallway. And it shows her with a bite mark on her arm. She's running. These zombies are running right behind her. And her parents are inside. She got out and they don't know where she went. Anyway, her parents were inside and she's not going to do it. Open the door, they bring her in. And she's turning, she's changing. So the mother and father are fighting these zombies that are trying to push their way in and kill them. And they're fighting for their dear life, and the little girl in the background is changing into a zombie because she got bit. And all of a sudden the father turns around and she jumps on him and she starts biting on his neck. And he's dying. And the door opens up, of course, and the zombies all pile on her in the corner and they eat her. And he's swinging trying to get her off his neck. And they both crash out a window and they fall to their death. He dies and she's laying there and you can see the image in her eye, reflection in her eye. You can see the zombies walking by in flames. And then it cuts off. And I'm like, that is the most jacked up thing I've ever seen in my life. Kid got killed in that. Didn't like that. That turned me off so badly that I unplugged my system, took all my games. Excuse me. Threw everything in the bag. Excuse me about that. Sorry about that. Threw everything in the bag and went down and sold all my stuff. Just like that. Told him what happened. So yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Why would put a kid get killed in a game like that? That's messed up. I never played it. Took everything, sold everything. And the guy was like, what you want? I said, give me the GameCube. Over there, I'll take that. Got all happy games on it. Went back and hooked up, played nothing but happy games. It's went up for 6 months. That messed me up. Now see, if I play with Twisted Metal, there's some jacked up stuff there on Twisted Metal, yeah, but it didn't involve any kids in it. So all this in here, this is going to have a visor here and here. All this is going to be ice. Huge icicles are hanging off. Before we're going to do that, I'm going to paint this in a visible glow. I need all this to glow. But at least, we got it all hooked up. All this right here, it's going to be all cooped up. It's going to go through a pipe system. It's going to push back in here. So that's hidden. I had it all in piping. Until then, it's going to stay like this. Don't get the piping part. Pipe is going to connect from here. Go back in here. It's going to hide all the wires and everything. These need to be exposed. I want to frost them. But this is going to be hit into a pipe system. And of course, we'll put some holes in it to show you this liquid that came out of it and froze and all that stuff like that. But these are already installed. Now I got this blinding light like on the other side. These things are loud as on the wood. They're not loud, but they're powerful. They're powerful fans. Let's hook this thing back in. Now what those are for is that the radiator system works fantastic. It basically, make sure we got our fans right here. Okay, here, okay. Basically what it does is it cools these down. But if you want to do a modification for your liquid cooling system and you want more air to be able to cool your radiators down even faster, you hook another set of fans on these. That's why on the back of these there's ports in there to put other fans in there. I got to figure out what the RPMs are with these, and these things are really good fans. It's not rubbing against anything. And we hooked up here because these fans are 4 ports. I hooked the adapter up here. So that's a Molex adapter running through 4 ports for your fans. So you can run 3 fans of 1 Molex. That's the part, that's when you get into modding. When you get into modding, learn about cables and wires and all that stuff. How to hook that up, how to hook this up, how to get it done, how to get that to run. Here comes to that part, the modding part. The modding. I love the mod. The mod, you gotta figure, it's modding, but like about that, it's modding, you have to do problem solving. You gotta figure out how to wire it up, how to get it together, how to get it to work. So we got fans here that run cables and wires through here. You got to learn how to channel all your wires through. When you're building your own cases, you are going to be doing all that yourself because you don't have the comfort of having a case already built and all the wires are going here, here, and here. You're going to do all that yourself. That is the best part of modding, basically starting actually from super scratch. Super scratch, people. That's like you're baking a cake, right? So you buying the ingredients, you're growing all of it. You got your chickens out there for your eggs. You're growing your wheat and all that to make your flour, all that stuff. You're growing your sugar cane. You're doing it literally from scratch. That's what we did here, from scratch. But this isn't super scratch. This is scratch, but not scratch. Now scratch, would mean we don't buy any boxes at all. We build the boxes themselves. That's my next stage. I'm going to build a PC, cut out the cardboard pieces, and build the box to make the system all together, make a super scratch box. There you go. I'm going to get something in the inside. I'm tired to be killing this. Don't treat me this way. I'll tell you something. You build a PC, make sure before you put that whole thing together, that them kill switches are going to flip on. They're going to turn on. You want to put in your CPU. You're going to need RAM to turn it over. Power supply, of course. Definitely want to hook up your hard drive. Because when you put your pins up there, you're going to have hard drive indicators. They flash, let you know your hard drives are reading. Do you really need them? Yeah, really, I don't use them. Anyway, so basically what you want to do is make sure that you got your pins in correctly. If we put anything together, make sure it's motherboard, CPU. Make sure you got a cooling on it, but if you don't, you'll burn out your chips. And what you do is you go in and you basically are trying to figure out exactly what pins are going to allow your system to turn on and off. And also too, if you do need the LEDs or indicators, sometimes people have LED indicators for your power switches, like power switches that indicator lights that come on. So don't just plug stuff in there and think it's going to work. Because some people, sometimes, even though it may be the same on this board, it's not going to be the same on that board. The headers will be completely different. And then you'll put the whole thing together and turn it on. It won't turn over. Make sure you get it to turn over first. You watch me do that with a Dell. Take it apart, put it all back together again, hit the switch and make sure everything is hitting rightly. Then we put it all together because we memorized it. I'll write it down and take a picture of it. If not, you will go through the madness. The madness, people. The madness. See, this is your power button right here. These are your switches. So make sure your switches are all going to the right ports before you put that thing together. So anything you need is a power supply, CPU, of course, fans for your CPU on top of that. Make sure you got your thermal paste and all that. Going to keep that cool while you're working back and forth. And you basically want to turn this on and off to make sure you got your switches in correctly. Because all board switches aren't the same way. They aren't. And once you got it all figured out, then you start building it. Just make sure you take a picture, you know, where everything goes at. Because nothing's more of a nightmare than putting the whole thing together and it don't turn over. And you're sitting there, got to take the whole thing apart. Especially if you did a mod job on it. You got to go through that craziness at the end of the day. My cat is feeding off my energy right now. What are you doing, Taco? Are you feeding off my energy? He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. Oh, yeah. Taco, look at that. He's getting charged up. What are you doing? He feeds off my energy when I get hyped up. What are you doing, brother? I told you, it's like a dog, and then he gets hyped up at the end of the day. I can see Taco coming like, okay, did you explain to him about the power supply? I told him about the power supply, brother. I told him. And let me tell you something right here, brother. This is what you got to do, right? You got to hook the power supply up here. You got to hook it over there. I don't think they following us. I don't think they following us, Taco. We're trying to explain to them. Get up in the face! Trying to show you how to get it done. Taco gonna be all up in your face like, yeah! Tag team, Taco, go up to it. Hoo-ah! This is how you hook up this power system. This is how we're gonna make all this thing glow in the dark. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna show you how to make your own UV paint by using high fluorescent yellow, blues, and greens, because they never give you enough in the package, man. They never give you enough in the package. You never get enough. I'm gonna tell you why. UV, it's the magic, baby. This is the magic. This is how you make what we call neon corrosion. It's beautiful. You're gonna love it. So, I know we talk a lot about basically this, that, and the other. Oh, I gotta keep my mind focused sometimes, but I can't. But this, when we do the paint job, I'm gonna keep it to the paint job. I'm gonna do the neon corrosion. So this is what you need. Brushes. Definitely gonna need these. any brushes. All right. Next, what you're gonna need is, where are we gonna put that stuff at? Oh, here. Is it down here? Oh, come on. How about these other guys? Come on, you're messing with my height. I used to have this already here on the table. Did we drop it off the table? Are we on the table? We dropped them off? Oh, Tunnel's feed. He feeds off my energy. Like, oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Rawr. That's right. Come on. We gotta have it around here somewhere. It's a holy grail. You gotta have this stuff, man. You gotta have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Not have it. Where's it at? There's something here somewhere. Oh, come on. Flying fish sticks. We just brought this out here a few minutes ago. We literally just had this on here on the table. Where did we do it that fast? 30. Really seriously. Where did we just do it? We just had it. So holy grail. Making what you call them. We need it for making corrosion. Oh, there's on the floor. Sorry, people. Shirt tripped. Insanity. We're back. We need this. See right here? This is the holy grail to making the corrosion. This is why we make the whole stuff over there. This is perfect. And there's no wrong way about it. No wrong way how to do this. Mistakes are the best way to do it. Bam! This will be your painter's, how you would paint it with. This, you don't need a brush. The brush is for painting. That's for a detail. The dry brush. You're gonna do dry brush painting. Dry brush painting is needed for that. That's dry brush right here. It's the dry brush right here. That's what you use that for. But this right here is what you're gonna do with your caulking. So just take a piece like this, like that. That's it. And what you're gonna do is you just gonna bend it like that. That's it. That's what you're gonna do. That's how we got that whole frosty here, right here. All this frostiness that gives you that corrosion, that bumpy corrosion on there. Hey, we need to put a little bracket right there. Let me sit down for a minute. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. I still want to put a support beam in there somewhere. But anyway, that's how you do that. That's how you make this. This and this right there. So what we're gonna do over here for that PC bit over there, that is going to be my cyberpunk. But I want to do a corrosion, a neon corrosion design with that. That's what I want to do. So we're going to give it a little bit of aged look to it, but we're going to give it with some neon on it. Right? That's what we're going to do. Now usually they give you these right here. Go through all that. There you go. All right. So anyway, we're going to need all these colors to do the corrosion. All of them. All of them. Look. Now with this, you only get this little container. You see that? That's all you get from the little container. Just this little tiny container of glow. Now they make this stuff that's clear. It's a clear powder. You don't want to get the clear in yellow. You don't want to get it in green. You don't want to get it in red. You want to get it in clear because you already got the colors right here. Now you can use it on this to activate to height this up right here. But if you put too much in here, you would thicken this up and this will be unusable. So what you could do is basically take the clear, put in a little bit of poly and go back over the areas that you hit, and that will add that activator to this. Or if you want to make a lot of this, instead of having this, they had this really high fluorescent neon paints, and you put that powder in. That stuff will automatically glow automatically from the door because the neon blue collide together. But if you really want to hype that up, you put in that clear activator in that, and you can make as much UV paint at a really high volume with a lot of light that just strikes it automatically. Just push off using that. We'll do some of that. We'll make some UV paints. I actually did a video of making your own UV paints. Yeah, making your own UV paint, but you definitely want to go with that neon. It doesn't work with flat blues and greens and stuff. It won't work. It won't activate. You have to do that with the neon fluorescent. All right, I'm putting my PC back together. I'm gonna take packages out to my customers. Put the machine up. Hearing from my naysayers, like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He is absolutely mad. He doesn't know what he's doing at all. Yeah, sure. Okay. It's funny how you knew me before I actually started doing screen paints. When I started doing this years ago, way before I even got into the field of this, you knew me. Yeah, okay, sure. Whatever. All right, let's get this done, Bird. You got things to do, man. You got things to do. I think I'll go for the sun's just calling my name. So, that's pretty much it right there, people. Right? Yep. Verse 3. Everybody's talking, sunshine day. Everybody's speaking, so happy to say. Hey, it's sunshine day. Now, for naysayers that want to feel the need to shoot my day down, but you can't. You can't shoot my day down. It's impossible. You know why? Because I love myself and I love God. So anyway, let me explain something to you. There's nothing to talk about. Move on. And now I'm good. I ain't got to talk about you. I got things to do. Corrosion job will come back in, get that done. Grab some snackies, come back in, start working on that, get that done. I gotta paint up this right here, get this painted up so this goes in the dark too. So get that finished. Now we're gonna be doing some painting. I gotta get some white paint because I gotta work on my corrosion job for my piece, and I think that color is just a little too hot. It's not giving me that corrosion feeling, so I'm just not getting it from there. So we're gonna have to. I got the paint there. I made it already. It's just not giving it to me. You know what I mean? It's not giving it to me. It's not giving me that corrosion. Like, I'm not feeling it, man. It's got to be this color. I need that. See that color right there? That's the color I need to get right there. That's corrosion, right? That's actually a perfect color right there. I got to match it to that. I'm not. It's too blue. All right, let's take our PC here. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, while I'm here, I need to cover this over right there. Get that ready. Taco. Taco's coming. Taco's coming. Taco's coming. Taco's coming. Taco's coming. Taco's coming. Go. Where's my rag at? Oh, well, can never find it. Oh, you're right there. I need white. Here we go. Get my ice cubes in here. Taco, back it up, because you're in my area now. You know better than that. Get out. I'm supposed to be in my area. You know the rules. I am not tripping over you at the end of the day. That's not going down. I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to hit that dry brush again. All right. Got a little spot right there. That's what I'm gonna get. You know what I found today? I found Sun Tees. Now, you might have think today, what the heck is Sun Tees? Actually, it's a t-shirt I like. I like that t-shirt. It fits me perfectly. Love this t-shirt, right? So they got them up here, but I got, you know what I went through last time when I was doing daily walk and talk. I had to track these things down and find certain stores that have them. You know, and they want like $7 for them, right? So this is why it's great to have a wholesale license. So basically, I found a company company actually isn't as far. I'm thinking maybe it's maybe in China or something like that. No, it's here in the United States. Actually, it's in New Jersey, which isn't far from here. And if I buy from them, instead of paying $7 for my t-shirts, I get them for, or if I didn't have the wholesale license, well, if with the wholesale license, because sometimes you get a wholesale, you get it for $3.50 per shirt. But with the wholesale license, I get it for $1.50 per shirt. So instead of me paying this year $7, because mind you, when I buy t-shirts, I don't know if anybody goes by that rule, you know, but basically where I came from, you can't wear a t-shirt twice. Once you wear it the first time, it's it. I like that crisp new feel to it. I know it's like a waste of t-shirts, right? But they really don't go to waste at the end of the day. Sometimes I get them all washed and get them cleaned up, and I take them down and give them the Goodwill and stuff like that, because they're brand new shirts in the day. But I like brand new t-shirts. I like to have them all the time. So I wear a brand new t-shirt every day. At one point, I just started wearing the X-Men shirts and stuff like that because it saves money. But I like white t-shirts. And the problem is, the t-shirts I like a special brand. And then on top of that, special brands like $7 a shirt. So you're talking about $7 a day can add up. But because I found the company and I use my wholesale license, I can get them for $1.50. I can get a bulk of them for pretty much next to nothing. And I can wear t-shirt, brand new t-shirt every day. Yep. Now for those of you sitting there saying, oh, but that sounds bougie. No, you don't come from the hood. Now you come from the hood, you would know what I'm talking about wearing a crisp, fresh t-shirt. It's a thing that everybody knows. When you come from those particular areas and urban areas, that fresh t-shirt, you're supposed to wear them only one time. Only time you wear them twice, as this is an emergency, and you have to basically go get another t-shirt. Other than that, it's one time you wear them. You can't wash them. These shirts are 100% cotton. If you wash them, they automatically shrink from the door. It's not the same fit anymore. It may fit tight up in your chest and your arms, but your back, it pulls up a little bit. It's like you got one of them baby doll t-shirts on. So no, you wear that t-shirt one time. And what I do is I had a friend of mine, she was taking a t-shirt and she was painting and drawing them and selling, making money. I wonder if she still does that. I can send her a whole bunch of them. But yeah, that's what I was doing them. So when you get people coming and going, oh man, you know, that's just bougie in the day, you don't understand because you never lived in a neighborhood like that. Those who live in the neighborhood know what I'm talking about. When I had people would come to the house, that one guy was actually from the neighborhood I was in. He said, Mr. Bird, they don't understand, dude. I said, no, they don't. They don't understand. Yeah, your t-shirt got to be fresh and crisp. Can't be no hanging around the neck. Can't be no yellowish look to it. It got to be white, clean, no wrinkles. And I've seen guys basically will have a backup t-shirt on in their car, in their trunk, a backup t-shirt. Because you go out to eat, you got to be careful what you eat. You know what I mean? You get something on it, you'll mess it up. You get one little spot on it, and that's it, that t-shirt got to go. It got to be white, it got to be crisp, it got to be clean. That's a rule, man. That's a rule. It's a rule. There are certain things that go on in those neighborhoods like that people don't understand, that are just rules that people follow by at the end of the day. And other people who don't live in those neighborhoods don't understand those rules. But that white t-shirt is supposed to be crisp and clean. Yeah. So I wore a t-shirt a day. But that gets costly. But now that I found the company, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. I can get myself. And mind you, in the summertime, it's change out 3 times in the summertime. Because you can't wear the same t-shirt all day. That's virtually impossible. You can't do that. Because you're going to sweat. So you're going to come in and you're going to shower and you're going to come and put on a fresh tee 3 times a day, especially in the summer. And you carry a backup on you at nighttime, because if you're going out, chilling, having some fun, you'd be surprised, man. I had girls hug me, touch their face, makeup on their hands, touch me, get my shirt, like, ah, oh, crap, really? Are you kidding me? Give me, I gotta get no t-shirt. I remember one time I was over there at my sister's, and we wanted to go get some pizza. And a little oil got me right here at the bottom of my shirt. And I said, oh, crap, I got to buy a new t-shirt. And she said, but look, you just roll it up. No, it's just there. I know it's there. That t-shirt's supposed to be clean. So I took the box, I put it down low so nobody could see it. And I walked on and got myself a fresh t-shirt. Now, all the stores I know I buy from, they know me because I come in and I buy my stuff from them. So if I ever need to change out in any one of these places, I go in and change my t-shirt. I got spots I'm going to change my t-shirt at. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it, right? But yeah, that's what it is. Girls look at you like, oh, he got a white t-shirt. That's what people thought. I had so many white tees when I was back in living in the neighborhood. They thought I owned, like, are you buying it from the bulk? I was buying bulks of them. So now I know where this place is at. I'm buying my tees over there. I'm gonna get me 100 of you suckers. 100. Stack them in. But you can't, and I wash them on cold. I'm gonna try to see if I do if I'm gonna experiment, if I wash them, because now I'm older, I'll wear the shirt twice if it's clean. But then again, if you wear it twice, you got the wrinkles in it. And you say, what if you iron it? I ain't got time for all that, man. Just buy a new shirt. It's only $1.50. It's only cost me $1.50, but I'm curious. They shrink. They're 100% cotton. They shrink. Definitely shrink. Yeah, definitely gonna get me a bunch. Get them shipped in. I put my wholesale license in. Get them shipped in and get them over here. Put them at my place. I'm gonna put some at my sister's place. Got a bunch of people on chill with. Like, I already dropped some t-shirts over here. Just in case if I need a shirt, I can come get my emergency shirts. And anybody at the end of the day think that's stupid? No, it ain't. Because they're businessmen at the end of the day who have to keep a fresh shirt on all the time. They'll always have a fresh shirt. They'll have a couple in their car, a couple at their friend's house, whatever. Always keep a nice, clean shirt. Even if it's white, it's always crisp, it's always sharp. Every time my brother was like that. He had t-shirts, he had dress shirts and stuff. He could go to other locations just in case something happened. You be out in the park, you got a business meeting coming up, and you eating something, food spill on your clothes. What you gonna do? You gonna show up at the business meeting like that? And so they're gonna go out and buy a whole new suit. Usually some people do that, buy a whole new suit. Throw the other one in the trash and walk out. That's what they usually do. Or some people have places they can go to. They can change their shirts at. I need to change. I got my backup here. Your backups are upstairs. Have people come to me and get their backups and stuff. You never know what's going to happen. Can't just walk around with stains on your shirt. And if I'm out there with my boys back in the day, and you had the money for a fresh t-shirt, get something on it, like, I got you. Because that's I know how that feel. Gotta keep that fresh shirt. Always clean. Always fresh. Now I got my exes say, that's insane. Like, who would that's the rules. You know what I mean? And you walk out of there with a shirt you wore twice, not clean, not fresh, and the first thing they say, man, it'll be busting on you and everything. Your nickname will be Dingy. Man, dingy t-shirt on, man. Is it tan or is it white? Spin the wheel. Pick one. Yeah, you gotta be fresh. I told you that when I was out in the park. Every time you see me in the park, the bag, one guy sat there and said that the reason why I have bags in my hands because I'm homeless and that's all I have. That's pretty sad. But anyway, no. I keep fresh t-shirts all the time. Always. Always have a fresh t-shirt on me. Always. Either here in the office, I got them here. I got them in the home front. Got them at my sister's cribs. I got a couple of people I'm cool with. And with new apartments, I got fresh t-shirts over there too. I pop over there once we cool and everything. I say, y'all do a favor. I'm going to drop a few t-shirts over here. I like to keep them nice and white. So if something happens, I can always come here, right? Chill. Some of them gave me keys to their spots. Yep. If you need to change, just come on in. Let the door guy know who I am when I'm coming in. Yeah, it's my people's right here. You're going to come up in here. You're going to change your t-shirt on, whatever. Yeah, leave. Now, when I leave out, I leave 20 on the table. That's my hospitality. Usually, if it's rare that I'll have to go up there and use your keys, because I got stuff in other places I can go to. That'll be for like a crazy dire emergency, like something like we're having a festival out there. And I know my people out there. I'm not going back to their spot. We're out somewhere, and your place is a little closer. Then I'll go up there and I'll use it. If I'm going to go use it, I'm going to drop some money on the table. Even though, you know, they never asked for it. Still, you know, you have my back. You know, here's 20. And by the way, when it comes to tipping, how much do you tip people at the end of the day? I tip 20. I always tip 20. If you do a better job than that, I tip 50. Because you know why? I've seen people get people like $2 on a tip. You got to be high rollers at the end of the day. They spend like $2. I had a buddy got somebody 50 cents. $20 on the tip. You know, you have to get $20 on the tip? No, you don't. But I figure if God blesses my hand, blesses me to have what I need, I should be able to give to others with no problem. Why not? I remember you had these kids who pump gas out there up on 69th Street, right around the corner from where we lived at. These kids be out there pumping gas, trying to get money. I just give them $100 to pump my gas. Now why? Because I'd rather see them out there pumping gas than they selling drugs. Like in the neighborhoods I lived in, or watch kids out there get murdered and killed over a little bit of clothes. Because they trying to get something to look a little better, a little presentable. Some new sneakers want to get murdered out there for some clothes. I'd rather see that than out there pumping gas, working hard. Every time I go up there, I tip them high every single time. Always tell them at the end of the day, you in school, getting that education? Yeah, okay, that's what you do. Get that education. Don't worry about what people think about when it comes to your clothes. Get that education. Get that knowledge. That's where that money's at. That money isn't in that self-gratification, trying to look good for now. That money's in that books. Books is where that money's at. That's what's going to open doors for you. That's power right there. And books is power. That's what I teach them. All this out here, trying to look flashy, that ain't the money. The money is on books. That's how you're going to open doors. That's how you're going to get opportunity. That's how you're going to rise and rank. There's a book. Get yourself into reading. Bring a book out here. Train yourself. Get yourself into reading. Get a book out here. Read it when you're a little time here and there. Once in a while, you know, you get your kids into basically constant reading books. A little bit here. They're going to fight a little bit. Because, you know, it takes a while to get your mind to go click on that thing. But yeah, get them into more into books and books and books. Next you know, the more books they read, the more knowledge they obtain. The more they obtain, the more smart they become. The more smart they become, the more opportunities they make for themselves. Books is knowledge. Yep. And that's why every time when I come out there, I see a young boy out there reading a book. Got him in a Tom Sawyer. That's a good book to read. And better than video games. Allows you to use your mind at the end of the day. You dream it all, bring it all together. Everybody that reads a book sees that story differently because their mind pictures it differently. That's what makes it beautiful. Yep. Take your money and save it. Put it to the side, you know what I mean? That's what you do. Save your money. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Nerds. They call nerds. Everybody want to be nerds now. There used to be a time where nobody wanted to be called a nerd. Now people want to be called nerds. They want that. Because the nerd is a rich guy. Nerds want to drive expensive cars, big house on the hill. That's the nerd now. Piece of tea's a nerd. Talking about how the nerd wasn't this and the nerd wasn't that and all that and the other. And nerds want to hire you now. You work for the nerd. People want to be nerds now. People want to wear glasses that say hats that say nerd across it. Want to wear the glasses with the tape in the middle. I got people seeing people rocking glasses with the tape in the middle. That's a style now. That nerd look is in. You got people now rocking high waters. All that. People want to be nerds now. People call you a nerd, that means you're smart. And if they call you a geek, you still smart. Nerds don't. People that are intelligent don't care about their style and look. Now I like my t-shirts white. I do, because that's the way I am. I always like white t-shirts. But they're more interested in spending their money into investments to build better and better, to learn things at the end of the day. That's what they'll do. That's their enjoyment at the end of the day. Got stuff to do. Stuff to do. Oh, I got to power this thing up, don't I? Yes, I do. Can't leave it not powered, right? It'd be crazy. It'd be on short. Yes. Deny me not. Deny me not. Where are you going to? I know you're definitely at part of that. Deny me not. Yeah, on short. Teacher. That's it. Let me get everything. I think I got the power cord. Jerry? Jerry's coming. Jerry's coming. Woo! Is that Jerry? Is that Jerry? Jerry, the camera's all over the place. Jerry? Jerry? Is that Jerry? Oh, that's Jerry. I think we got everything hooked up. That's the only thing we have that's base, that's the controller right there. So yeah, everything's fine. The only thing I have is power cord. Power cord for that. Oh, I found power cord. Jerry? Is that Jerry? Oh, Jerry. Come on, baby. Ooh, is that Jerry? Oh, be careful. Jerry's got cameras everywhere. Thank you for meeting us at short notice. All right. This should be good. See, this is when my desk is at its best. When the desk is a mess, it's at its best. I don't know where everything's at. I don't know which way we're on the wrong side of that one. This is when I'm happy. When my desk looks like this, I'm happy. When my desk has no parts and stuff on it, just want my sad man. Yes. It's funny because everybody else's office looks all, you know, they got flowers and stuff, you know, it's an office and all. And my office looks like this. Because you know why? We build stuff in here. We make stuff come to life. That's what we do. We build things. All right, let's get this party started, right? Let's get it started. I think I'm going to hit the button from the opposite side so you can see the lights powering it. We got everything hooked up correctly. Which we should be okay on that, right? Look at the cloud system. So we're going to build one in there. We'll build our cloud system in there. All right, let's go behind here. Whew. Man, I'm installing it right now. I have to put the wires a little farther in because they're making the fan go clickety-clack. We don't want that. Let's see what happens, people. Cross our fingers. Is it going to work? We don't even know. Yes, this will work. It should be good. Oh, I'm bad. I'm so bad. The air coming off those things. To the power. That's all the air sucking out of the radiator and pushing this way. This is pushing air through the radiator. This is coming through this section. Air's coming through here, coming out through here, sucking out through here, keeping it nice and icy inside. We're gonna make a super box cooler. We're gonna make a super box cooler. I'm sure to make a super box cooler. We're gonna make one. It's gonna be insane, people. So, you know that tape they use, that silver tape they use for basically controlling temperature? I put it in the garage. We're going to basically cut the box open, coat the whole entire inside it with that insulation tape, and we're going to turn the inside up into a silver cooling system, put the fans on it, and put a temperature gauge in and watch it drop. With these fans. I like these fans. They're actually fantastic. Yep. So if we had lined the inside of that with that insulation, and maybe cap these a little closer, like these are right here. Oh my goodness. Do you have any idea how insane that would be? We put the caulking around it to basically seal it in just nicely and put that tape around it. Oh, it'd be so cold in there, man. So cold. Look at this. Oh, yeah. The fan system in the back of this is beast. Look at that. Got the whole freaking power system running from here. Got the whole power system. It's going to look insane, I'm telling you. When we get done with it, this is going to be a system that's going to run all of that right there. And you're all sitting here watching it all get built. You're watching it all with me. We're watching this and doing this together. Naysayer, do not become angry and with rage. Learn something. I ain't so mad at them today. Learn something. You can learn a lot from us at the end of the day. You know, try this for yourself. Be surprised. Next thing you know, you'll be hooking up stuff and on YouTube like, wow, that's pretty cool. I would even pop into your channel and basically say, wow, that's a really nice job. I like that. Because I'm not filled with rage and anger all day long. I don't understand how people are like that. Why filled with so much bitterness? That's like spending the entire day drinking salt and vinegar all day. Does that sound appetizing to you? Get a hamburger, wash it down with salt and vinegar. Everything you have, you wash it down with salt and vinegar. That's literally what you do. You consume hatred all day. That's sad. Bam! We got to finish doing this. We got the neon trace we're going to do around all of this. All this is going to have a neon trace going through it. Bam, bam, bam. We got fans going here, 80mm fans. We're going to be using a USB support because I couldn't find anything small enough. But USB for it. Now, the reason why we got the fans here, these are outtake fans. Because, where do we have it at? Where's the liquid cooling system? Oh, forgot. Liquid cooling system is there. But right here, this is for the hard drive. So hard drives are here in the garage area right here. That's where the fan for the hard drive is at. And that basically allows air to come out, suck from this side to that side to keep it nice and cool. And on top of the hard drive itself is a small fan with 280mm on a Molex adapter that actually runs through here. Yes, we do have ports. I didn't give you the middle finger. I just pointed to that section. So there's ports in here. There's a port on this side to connect wires to this side. There's ports down here to connect wires down here. There's ports all through this thing inside to connect wires anywhere I need them to go. Because I put it all in there. There's even a port down there. Look at that. Look at the magic. Look at the madness. And on top of this right here, we can put the power supply, boom, right on top of here. Power supply is going to sit up here, and we're going to make the power supply look like some kind of high cooling and heating system, duct system, make it a part of the roof. And then we're going to drop all the wires and cables down through here. We're just going to come out through here, and they're going to plug into the system right there. This is going to come to the graphic card, because graphic card locks here, can drop all the way down here. Plenty of room for it. It's going to have a docking station that lands that graphic card quite nicely right there when I get it built. Everything we need to power from the power supply will go right into there, right there. Out here, we have power supply, cord, drops out to the side. It's going to go through a nice little funnel system that's going to connect right around the back and just disappear. We're going to hook this up. It's a cyberpunk building. That's what we're building. Yep, and it's going to have a little corrosion, jet black, and it's going to have a neon trace running all through it. And everything on here is going to be RGB. It's going to be madness, people. Get from under my desk. Get from under my desk now. It's going to be absolute madness. Absolute madness. Now, where would the motherboard go at? Because it's not going to lay it exactly flat to this, right? The peg system. So we use the peg system to lift up the motherboard just enough. The peg system is this far out. So the motherboard sits this far out. And then we're going to have a system that wraps around it that's see-through. And that's all going to be neon. Trace line. Lights going back and forth. Cross charging the motherboard. Is that insane or what? Now, you're inside my head. It's rent-free, by the way. That's the madness we're building there. That's the madness we are building there. Look at that. Look at the power. This actually 120mm fan. All that air you saw right there is pushing air through this whole entire system. Right here, cooling down the hard drive system. Air's blowing out through the vents. Ooh, cool. Yes, keeping everything nice and icy on the inside. But I think from now on, when we design boxes, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the boxes open. We're going to insulate them with the insulation that we use for the garage and all. We're going to insulate it with that, with the tape. And then we're going to put it all back together and throw those frosty fans in there and keep it nice and cool in there. That's what we're going to do from now on. We have to build one. Oh, that's basically showing you what size fans we're going to fit on top of that. So that's going to pull air in and out, intake and outtake fan to keep the hard drive nice and frosty. Yes, sirree. Now, this is an ice cube system. These are ice cubes that you put in. I don't know why you would have this in a drink, though. But anyway, you have, these are ice cubes. And we put the little peg systems on it to hook to the motherboard post. So now your motherboard can look extra frosty on top of pegs. Now, are we done here? No. Little silicone right near the edge. You don't want to touch those microchips. I'm going to drop a little silicone down all the way around to give it a nice little frost look so it can bleed right through that fan that's actually firing up over there. And you have to finish the party box. The party boxes has to finish the rest of the RGB light system. I want to have to take it apart because I really have to basically put a sturdy structure here because this is starting to lean in a little bit. Where in this one, I learned from my lesson, I actually double plied everything. This is all double plied. So that way it's a nice sturdy structure. This one also too has ports inside of it to keep it balanced. I got pegs in here to keep everything nice and balanced in here so it doesn't sink in. This was my first build. I didn't do it with this one. So this one we have to take it apart and basically restructure the frame and put it back together. That's what we're going to do. This has LED lights running from the bottom and all that. Before we run all that, we have to get that ready to go. Now, for those people who think that I need powerful parts, we do not need powerful parts. We're going to put this is a retro system. This is not for retro video games. That's what it's for. retro gains. We don't need a lot of power. The 1050 is more than enough, but we're going to put a 3050, which is actually much higher than what we would need to run. What do you say? God of War. Yes. Because you don't have to spend the money for expensive parts at the end of the day. It's not needed, not needed, not needed. Oh, wait, if I do this right here quick. Oh, me, when I'm bad, I'm so, so bad. So, come on, baby. Let's dance. Let's dance tonight. Yeah. Bam. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, babe, that's how we do it. Have a little fun, right? That's right. All right. So, now we got to do next. We're going to build our nice cloud system here, 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 and here. We're going to put in our tracer. It's like a pulse heartbeat. It's going to push right through here. We got to remove this line, all this, because once we put that in, you're not going to even see that blue neon anymore. And the blue neon now is going to have to go around the trace here, and here, back here, up here, down here, over here. And I'm supposed to finish the rest of the LED lights, which I didn't get a chance to because we got the building and everything. This needs more LED lights on it. LED lights underneath of it. Got LED lights on the side of it. We got to panel all this out with the panel system. So basically you can operate and play with things on top of the desk. So I got a piece that connects here. It comes up. It fits over. My projector goes here, hits the desk, and there's an interactive system that plugs into the projector that allows me to drag and drop objects all over the screen. You're going to love this thing. I paid 130 bucks for it. Yep, it allowed me to manipulate. So this, no more. It'll be just this. And then once we hook up the Connect system, which is going to be the master command center, which is going to be hooked up to this PC over here, it's going to allow us to be able to scan the entire environment and allow us to be able to drag and drop things at will. Google Earth VR, and we can just move whatever we want, anywhere we want to go. The floor will activate, the walls will activate, the ceiling will have this nice LED light cloud system wrapped around it. Of course, we're going to put the charge here. And with the delay switches, this is going to be the build up here. So the lights are going to actually build up power. They're going to trace them through. They're going to hit here, charge here, bring it down here, drop into the PC, and that trace line is going to look like it's charging all this stuff up. It's going to be a sick job. You ever seen me work with LED lights before? It's madness. I actually took an entire room and turned it into a circuit board. For those who want to doubt my skills with LED lights, I turned an entire room into a giant circuit board, including the floor. It's pretty cool. Interesting thing about it was trying to get the LED lights to run a certain way so it would come up like a circuit. Yeah, that was interesting. That was something. You know how to walk in that room? I had to learn to walk a different way. It was like walking through a movie track. You hit one of those lights and all your lights go out. Yep. Next time we do one of those things, I make sure I can do it in an area I have more control where we can raise the floor up. Now, next time I would do something like that, I would definitely do the floor, but I would have a plexiglass floor that would stick up a little higher up so we can walk on it without interfering with the lights underneath of it. And yes, we would have to have access to the floor, which means we would have to be underneath the floor to go underneath that to get access to those particular areas. But that's how I would build it. And in order to do that, you would have to build the entire structure from scratch to do it. I know it sounds insane, but that's what we do. That's what we do. And people think about it, this is all made out of cardboard. This whole structure is made out of cardboard and sheets of plastic. That's it. That's all. Right there. Right there. Do you feel my insanity, people? Do you feel? One time that thing fell hit me in my back one time. Do you feel my insanity, people? When I'm talking like this, when I'm excited, stick your phone next to the screen. I bet you I'll charge your battery. Like, what the freak? You charge my battery? That's right. That's how much energy I push off at the end of the day. And I haven't even eaten anything yet. I haven't even had coffee and I had jack at all. Well, I had some potato chips. That's basically about it. But I am definitely charged. When I watch stuff like this come to life, it's amazing. You know why? Because God taught me all this. Everything you see before me is all God taught. God taught me all of this. At one point, I couldn't even tell a hard drive from RAM at one point. Like, I literally couldn't at all. All this from God. Yep. There is so much information. I remember when it happened, there was so much information filling through my head. I was writing composition books with PCs. I was actually writing PC books. I was building them and just writing them down, all the stuff I wanted to build. But I never had my hands on a PC yet until that day came when I was sitting outside and that woman threw out that PC. And it just, boom, that information is non-stop. It is non-stop, and it advances, gets better and better and better and better, and boom, next thing you know, we're doing stuff like this. That voice is never going away. Right now, when I'm studying hydroelectric energy and all that crazy stuff, all that information comes from God. Learning nuclear fusion and all that crazy stuff, that all comes from God. Yep. Anything that I want to learn, anything I want to build, anything I want to design, all comes from God. Everything from artwork to anything. Even knowledge and business comes from God. Everything. There's no glass ceilings when you serve God. None. There's none. It doesn't exist. Glass ceilings do not exist when you serve God. That's why I said the devil will fight. He will. He get angry, get upset, he get angry every single day at me. He hates me so much. But guess what? Message for you. You can't stop this. Nope. It took 5 of them. 5 of them to gang up on me. See, look at that. 5 of those people still ganged up on me. And look, still standing strong. And it's interesting to say that. I said this many years back. Way before these guys came in the picture against another video, a couple of people were trying to do the same thing. YouTube. Yep. This ain't my first time I've had people try to gang up on me to take me out. It ain't gonna happen. I serve God. And where are they at? Not in a good place, I can tell you that much. Nope, businesses fell through. They don't exist anymore. I can go back to their YouTube pages, they're still there. Their businesses don't exist anymore. Yep. So all that you're seeing is God. God. God, God, God. Oh, this is God. See, what you don't understand to people who serve the devil, your naysayers. Let me put a little picture in your head real quick. It's like you're sitting on top of this hill, and I'm climbing this hill, and you guys are sitting there throwing boulders at me, trying to get me to fall off this hill. But what you don't realize is, guess who's standing in front of me? Jesus Christ. That's who's standing in front of me. And he's just reflecting all that. All of it. Even if one were to get through and I were just hanging on, he's going to grab my hand and pull me right back up. He's going to stand right in front of me. And you could throw everything you got. He's just going to take it all. And when I get to the top of that hill, you'll be the one going over the side. And you'll be the one hanging off of it, begging for Jesus to come save you. And you better hope he listens. You better hope he extends his hand. Because if he doesn't, down on the bottom, the other one's waiting for you to fall. And that's what's going on. That's a little mental thing I got to put in their heads at the end of the day. Everything you try. Think about the things they plotted. All the things. They got the little showcast. They all got together, had their little meetings and stuff. All the evil things that they plotted to try to destroy me at the end of the day. And I'm the one standing on top of the mountain. I'm the one sitting side by side with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. There you go. There you go. All victory goes to God. Like I said at the end of the day, God's servant, if we were able to fall, we get back up stronger. Can't take a Christian down. You can't take a Christian down. I know they tried. Look at they tried so hard. They tried so hard, and all of them failed. Every single one of them. And even the ones that are trying to try right now. You will fail every single time. And you can sit there and say, oh, that's bragging. That ain't bragging. That's testimony, baby. That's testimony of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, having my back 24/7. Always being there for me, always guiding me, always protecting me. He was protecting me from day one, before I even started this channel, before I even walked this path. He was with me. So if you think for a minute that as long as I've been serving my Lord and doing his will at the end of the day, if you even think for a second that you're going to come in and try to destroy and take his blessings away, you got another thing coming. You ain't taking nothing at all. Not a thing. The devil couldn't take it then, and he's not going to take it now. He couldn't even get my soul when I was out in the streets. My Lord made sure he saved his servant at the end of the day. That's right. So that's the message to all you naysayers out there that serve the devil. And if you sit there and say, I don't serve the devil, yes, you do. Trying to steal a Christian's blessing at the end of the day. You better be lucky that God is a merciful and good God. Because if he wasn't, you wouldn't be standing right now in front of your holding your phone right now. That shows you how much mercy he has at the end of the day. How much mercy. I know his mercy too well. I know it too well. When I was out there running the streets and carrying on and acting up, I could have basically went there and hurt somebody that was a Christian at the end of the day. Imagine they got to their knees and prayed to the Lord about me. And the Lord said, you know what? I'm not going to save this one. I'm going to destroy him. I'd have been gone. Not even here. Not even existing. Lord had plans for me. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Bam, 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 bam. Now, I want some juice. Because I'm out of juice. All right. Let's put this in the jar. Let's go get ourselves some juice. Because we want some juice. I'm going to get these packages out the door. Get my customers taken care of. We got the new technology coming out. Lord bless us with all new technology, new company name, everything. Yep. Everything. Bam. All right. Let's get this done. Yeah, I got to let them know. I'm going to let them know. It's not just letting them know. It's letting them know, and it's letting the devil know. Because I know it's all in them with that in the day. Devil's messing with them, telling them to do dumb stuff, and I'm talking to Satan himself. When you come in this room and you carry on and act up, you are doing the devil's work. And I'm here to tell you, and the devil, that you ain't doing jack at the end of the day, that my Lord and Savior has my back 100%. If my Lord, based at the end of the day, allowed the devil to come in and destroy my company, my business, me, my family, everybody, at the end of the day, what kind of God would he be at the end of the day that I could trust? Put my trust in him because he has my back 24/7. So if you think that you can come out here and do all, no, you can't do jack. You can't do anything at all. If anything, you better worry about the plans that the devil got for you already set up. Because if you're already doing his work already, I guarantee he's already got plans to take your life already. If you've already been listening to him telling you to do bad things to other people at the end of the day, he's already made plans already to take your life. That's how fast he's going to take you. The minute you start listening to him and the minute you start following him and doing the things he tells you to do, he is already set up to take your life. Already. So you know that. Because see, the devil already knows. The devil knows he can't take down a Christian. He knows it already from the door. He knows it. He knows it from the door. He fears God. That's why. But he knows at the end of the day that he can trick you to make you think that you're doing some damage. And he knows he can keep you going at the end of the day. And a Christian knows at the end of the day that you can't do anything to him because he serves God. And the devil's afraid of God. So the devil's going to make you believe that you're doing something at the end of the day. You're harming the Christian. You're making his life miserable and all that. And the Christian knows that at the end of the day it's not happening because, again, God's our protector. So the devil says, let me get him in a lot of trouble. Let him keep this going, keep this going, keep this going. And then, the devil has already made plans to take your soul already. Because you're already listening to him. He's already got you to do dumb stuff. Mind, this stuff for these people, again, so many people are going to go to jail for a long time. Very many people get warrants for arrest. This is going to be pretty bad for some people, really bad. Some people are really going to jail over this mess. So, he's already got you already. He got you to do enough, dumb enough stuff to get you in the position he needs you to be at to take your life. So when you really think about that, and you really think about the deep part of it all, that the stuff that you do to me or anybody else, you're not doing anything at all. You're just doing what the devil's telling you to do because the devil already knows from the door he can't take a Christian. Not a Christian that's serving the Lord and doing the Lord's will. He can't take him. He knows that from the door. That's a no-win situation. It's not going to happen. But on the other hand, I got this guy to do some really dumb stuff. So I'm going to mess with him, get him to do dumb stuff at the end of the day that I know is never going to affect this guy, and maybe I can get his life. So just to let you know, if you're out there plotting on your neighbor, if you're out there spreading false rumors about people at the end of the day, if you're out there stealing from people at the end of the day, the devil already got you. And his plan is to kill you. He's going to kill you. You're no use to him here. What use to him on earth, the devil? What can you get to him? What can you give the devil? What can you get to him? Money? You got that already. Power? Got that too. Immortality? He's got immortality. He has that already. If he didn't, he'd have been gone a long time ago. I mean, nobody worried if he lived that long. What could you get to him? Nothing. You can't give anything to him. at all, period. So you can't give him money. You can't give him anything, right? So what do you have of you that's valuable to him? You're valuable to him. Because at the end of the day, he knows if he kills you and he gets you off this planet and he gets you over into his world where there's no salvation, there's no forgiveness, and there's no way to go to heaven because you choose your path from the door, then he got you. And that's what he's going to try to do. So that's why I told you all day the devil's going to try to kill you. It says right there, the devil lurks back and forth like a lion looking to see who he can devour. That's his job. Get up in the morning and try to basically kill as many people as I possibly can that are unsaved to get them over here so I can own them. Now, while you're here, there's a high possibility you might get saved. You might become a Christian. You might hear God's calling. You might become a man or woman of God. And then he don't got you now. He lost you, just like he lost me. He had me at one point. He had me really good at one point. Really, really good at one point. And he tried to kill me multiple times. There are many times that people try to kill me at so many levels, it's not even funny. I was in an alleyway one time. I got shot at in an alleyway. You know how hard it is to dodge a bullet in an alleyway? You don't even know where it even starts and begins at. You just hear them whizzing past you because they're shots. I came out there, I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't get shot. Like that Pulp Fiction kind of thing when the guy came out there. It was that close. Guy just pulled out his gun, went, bah, 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 right in the hallway. Just clip the whole clip in the hallway. And I mean the alleyway. And nowhere to run but the alleyway. And I came out there and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't get shot? Like, really? Like, yeah. So, many times I could have been in situations where I could have easily died. The devil was trying to take me. Made me believe at the end of the day that he was my friend. He was basically had my back. And he was watching over me and filling me full of evil to figure out ways to take out my enemies at the end of the day. Because the Lord don't teach that. The Lord teaches you forgiveness. That's what the Lord teaches you. Teaches you how to do things in a different way. Like you got a problem with your enemy, you take him to court. That's what you do. Do things by the book. You do things by the law of the land. You don't go break the law and do things like that. That'll get you into trouble with the devil. So, many times he could have basically came in and taken my life easily. And the Lord didn't allow it to happen. So, the Lord allowed that whole my world to be pushed all the way to the side so I can see him because it was meant to me for me to be saved. It was meant to be for me to be in that book of life, to make it to the next life, to see Jesus' face. It was meant to me to see all that. And I realized that long before I got into this field, long before the Jamies and all the other people existed, I was serving God. So, I learned a lot of things in that process time. I learned that basically when I went through the prison system, when I got a chance to see things and I got a chance to live in the badlands of horrible and really rough neighborhoods, I got a chance to see the devil at hand at his work. Got a chance to see his work up front. It was part of his work on top of that. I got a chance to see all that. I saw the bigger picture. And then when I became saved, I saw the even bigger picture about what it was all about and what I was caught up in. What almost happened to me at the end of the day. And I'm here to tell you that you naysayers at the end of the day, you people carry on and act up, I don't fear you. God don't fear you because I serve the Lord. I don't fear you one bit. But I'm here to tell you that you're doing Satan's work. You're on the same path that I was many years back when I got in all that trouble. You're doing the exact same thing. I see it in you already from the door. I see it in your messages and how you carry them. I see Satan in it. When you send me messages like that, I see the devil. I don't see a man. I see the devil. Because the devil's feeding you this information, God. It's not telling you to say those evil things. The devil's telling you to say those evil things. So when I read your messages, I see the devil. That's what I see. And it's sad. I don't get threatened by that stuff. It's sad because I see the path that you're about to travel, which you're already on right now. And right now the devil's trying to figure out ways how to kill you. You got to worry about anybody else on the planet. You got to worry about the devil. Because he's definitely going to try to kill you. And the farther you're in with it, well, the faster he's going to try to go forth and get your life taken. Now, if you're still here on this planet and you haven't passed on by now, that means God is watching you. Even when you're doing evil things, such as I was, he's watching you. But keep in mind, mercy does not last forever. It doesn't. I'm so glad that I denied the Lord so many times on so many levels. I denied him. I am so happy today he didn't give up on me. I'm so happy to give up on me. Because if he did, and if you don't believe how horrible it can be, you read Revelations in the Bible. That's just a tip of the iceberg of what's coming. You better get yourself together. Because you're being hunted by the devil. And like I said, only a certain amount of people are going to heaven, and only a certain amount of people are going to hell. Not all is promised to go to heaven. So if you're out there doing those things at the end of the day, just let you know that the devil has got plans for you already. And you can sit there and say, I don't serve the devil and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. He's got plans for you already. He's going to take you off this earth one way or another. He's going to try everything he can, and he's never going to give up. And if he can get you to listen to him just a little bit, just listen to him, and he can keep feeding the hatred to you and feeding the hatred to you and keep you on that level, yeah. It's going to collect on its investment. Yep, this is a big picture, though. Look at the flatty butts. You and your flatty butts. Why are your butts so flatty? You don't even know. Raw. Yep, he's going to try. Whew, man. Now, if you think I say this to scare you, yeah, you should be scared. You got a demon hunting you. You should be very scared. Extremely scared. You should be terrified. Should be. You should be terrified. When I walk out the door, am I scared of demons? No. Why am I scared of demons? I serve God. They're the ones that are afraid. They knew I serve at the end of the day. So they're the ones that are afraid. Don't worry about that. But when demons see people that serve the devil, well, they're just going to collect what belongs to them. That's what's going to happen. And the other thing you have to worry about too also too, and think about deeply, that you're not here forever. Remember that. You're here on borrowed time. When God decides to take you back, he will. And you will go back. No doctor in the world can take you, can help you, nothing. When it's your time, you will go back. Your borrowed time. So it does not guarantee you're going to come home tonight. It's not guaranteed. People think it's guaranteed because you watch your back, you watch your surroundings. It's not guaranteed. It doesn't even have to happen out in the street. You can have, just, health can go, have a heart attack, anything. You think you have to be old to have a heart attack? You can have a heart attack young too. It's your time. Now, if that basically bothers you, if that scares you, if that frightens you, then that means you're not ready to be, you're not ready. That's what that means. That's what that stands for. If you're scared about what I just said out of my mouth, true Christians will sit there and rejoice over that, like, yeah, well, it's time for me to go back. I can't wait. I'm out of here. I'm tired of all this craziness that's going on in this earth. I'm tired. I'm ready to go home and see my Lord. I can't wait to see his face. I'm so happy to be home with Jesus. That's a person that's ready to go home. While I'm here, I'm going to serve the Lord. I'm going to do his will. I'm going to preach his name. I'm going to talk his good name. I'm going to let the world know who I represent. But when it's my time, I'm going home. I'm retired from this life. I'm going home. And people that are not saved, you're terrified to hear the things I say out of my mouth. You're terrified by it. It scares you. You find no comfort in it. Nothing but fear. That means at the end of the day that you are basically in the line of fire with the devil. Look at my cat watching TV. He likes butterflies now. Now it's a butterfly thing. Oh my goodness. He likes butterflies. Turned his head. He's listening to me. Hear what I'm saying? I said he liked butterflies. He turned his head a little bit like he's listening. Like, you just sit on camera like butterflies? No, because you're a ferocious, dangerous tiger. And everyone's afraid of you. Raw. He's a ferocious tiger, people. You can't tell him that. He likes butterflies. Yeah, I'll tell you that, man. Because again, You were on the path that I was on when I was 16. Yeah, you're on that path. The devil hates it. When a Christian is blessed, your next door neighbor, he's working hard, get a promotion. Christian man, serve the Lord, pray the Lord every day, like, Lord, I want this job, I want this promotion. If it be thy will. Because it might not be the Lord's intention for you to have it. He got something better for you. That's why I tell people at the end of the day, if something don't work out, something falls through, something you've been praying on, it falls through, that's a good thing. That's a blessing. You know why? Because that means the Lord has something better for you. Or he saw something in that position that wasn't right. He's protecting you. Never ever get discouraged when you pray for something and it doesn't happen, because God is looking out for you. He sees things that you can't see. So if it doesn't work out, it's a blessing. He's been blessing you all this time, right? Put a roof over top of your head, food in your stomach. He's been taking care of you all this time. Why would he not take care of you now? Don't get mad about that. Don't get disappointed about it. Rejoice and thank him for that. For showing you something that you can't see. And later on, something will pop off and go, oh, okay, I ain't go down that road. There you go. Just like when you have kids, you want what's best for your kids. You want kids to go to good schools, you want good education, you want them to have a happy life. That's what you want. Same thing God wants for you. You don't want your kids to fall into bad times, get hurt, something happening to them. You don't want that. That's why God treats his children at the end of the day. Not meant to be is not meant to be. It's a reason why. It's a reason for all things. All things have a reason. Do you prefer your reading glasses? It's a funny cat. All right, let's get this done. Whew. I don't know what was going on with the freaking shipping station and PayPal. I'm trying to make the order for the Philippines, and I can't get it out there because for some reason the shipping station is just bugging out. So now I got to do it manually. Oh, I haven't done a custom label in so long. I got to literally do this thing by hand. Go. We'll get it done. Get it done. Go. I don't sit there and say God. I say go. Not God. You're not supposed to say the Lord's name in vain. Got something else too? A lot of people don't realize. Can't celebrate Father's Day. It's supposed to be Dad's Day. Can't call your dad father. Technically, no one's supposed to be called father. There's only one that's father. So, a person who's a minister, or what are they going to call him father? You're not supposed to call him father at all periods. In the Bible it's written, only one has the right to be called father. And Jesus Christ spoke of it, and that is God. He's the only one. He is the only father. He's the father of all things. So you can't call your dad father, and really, a person of the cloth should not be being called father, because you're not supposed to do that. It's in the Bible. So it's Dad's Day. Not Father's Day, Dad's Day. Yep. It's Dad's Day. Look at that cat over there. You know what's interesting? Now, so that cloud system's over there, you won't touch it. Anything I build and design, it's red, he'll go touch it. He is very well trained. Because whatever pet I got, then he couldn't be messing with this and messing with that. I got a lot of technology around here. He's a walking EMP. He hits something at the end of the day. He's not with static energy. He'll take it out. And if we got rugs on the floor too, he'll short all this stuff out easy. I have never had to worry about him sitting on a computer, landing against a computer, nothing. If I'm painting something or do something, he stays far away from me, sits in his own quarter right over there. Very well trained. And I didn't have to train him that way. He was like that when I got him. Because one of the things I was afraid was when I was painting the screens and I had him on the ground, that he would walk across the screen and get paint all over the place. Not one time ever. It's like when the Lord brought him to me, he brought a cat that was tailored perfect for me and my attitude. Ain't that right, Mr. Biscuit Boy? Biscuit Boy? Biscuit Boy? Oh, he just ignored me like, excuse me, that's not my name. Good watch. Don't tell me cats don't have sarcasm. They do. Look, he even knows the camera's on him. Biscuit boy. Biscuit boy. Taco. Told you. Ain't my name. Don't call me my name. Taco, you love me? Hey, Taco. Okay, turns out. I said he's just as I. Hey, Taco. Are we best friends? I just have to put up with him every freaking day. Every day. He just had to look. He didn't close his eyes on that one. He's right every freaking day. I gotta deal with this guy. Sheesh. I think if my cat ever learned how to talk, the first thing he would say is, "What the freak is wrong with you? Man, you do the most craziest I've ever seen. What the heck is a kiss tax? Gotta pick you up. You're all in my face like, would you like that? Would you like someone kissing on you all over your face and then smelling you at the end of the day? Like, what is wrong? Why do you do that? And by the way, my name is Taco. You name me Taco, right? Not Biscuit Boy, not Sandwich Bread, none of them names. So stop calling me Pretzel Stick. Do I look like a pretzel stick to you? Yeah, but my God calls you oatmeal. It's a kid at the end of the day. You're a grown freaking man. You're absolutely insane. Really insane. The other day when I was on your back, I was looking for your off switch. And then you constantly ranting about this guy called Jerry. Ooh, this Jerry. Ooh. Yeah, that's my cat right there, if he could talk. Do I take care of you? I do, don't I? Yep. Buy you tons of toys. Whatever you want, right? Matter of fact, Jay's getting milk. He wants milk today. You don't get a lot of it because he don't drink a lot of milk. But he's getting milk today. Getting a little here and it comes to treat. I mean, I would be tired. They can't eat different cat food because it makes them sick, mess with their digestive system. But I'm pretty sure he gets bored from. He has to have something different taste. So someone get a little milk, stuff like that. They go to my sister's house. They give him that $100 seafood platter. Kirk, I can't believe that they spend that much money for my cat. $100 seafood platter. We can't have everything on there. Like the oysters, he didn't like them too much. Kind of play with them more than anything else. But he does like lobster. Lobsters, crabs, and they take everything apart. They strip it down, all the meat and everything for him before he comes over. He likes potatoes. He likes Spanish rice, don't you, buddy? I've never been one of those people. If I had cats or dogs, if I'm eating something, they get some of it too. Not a lot of it, because you know they want to mess them up, but they do get some of it. I've never had. I have dogs that will never beg because I train them not to come to the table. You're not allowed at the table when I'm eating, but I do bring them some food. I break them off. And whether y'all like it or not, but I'm a dog man and a cat man at the end of the day. So, you know, people sit there and say, hey, let a dog lick you in the face. His mouth is cleaner than yours. That's dead serious. An animal's mouth is actually literally cleaner than yours. They have higher bacteria, not bacteria, but higher, I kept the name for basically, for killing bacteria. That's why they can lick themselves and heal. We can't do that crap. We'll get sick of them in the hospital. God. So, cats and dogs' mouths are actually cleaner than ours. Our mouths are filled with a lot of bacteria. We have a lot of poison in our mouth. Not them. Ain't that right? So my dog licks somebody like, what are you doing? You don't know what that's been. Okay, enough doing on Taco. He's like, how dare you? How dare you put the camera there? You always want to be on camera 24/7. We got to go, people. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior for blessing us with amazing technology. If it weren't for Him, none of this would be possible. Got to go. Thank you for your time, and God bless.